Millions.
Everybody who came over the border, all those people who are way through the border under Biden, God knows how many million of them there are, they're all at risk too. If ICE gets them, they're not getting out. This is a system, by the way, unless they're going to be building a lot of space. Right now, ICE can hold about 63,000 people at any given time. Wow. Where are they going to put all these people? They don't have that kind of space. It's not designed. Right. It's not designed for this many people.
Joseph Patrick Murphy, great stuff. Appreciate you, my man.
Last minute update, Marty. On
KDKA
Crazy times.
On the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contracts. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill. But those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in. Cool as can be. Tap GoodRx. Saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, ShopRite, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
So I talked to John Perry over the weekend from Perry Calder Law Firm. John has doctors on his staff to investigate medical malpractice cases. John has the biggest settlements at Perry Calder of any firm in this region. John has the track record. John sits down with families. He's met with my friends and my family members on cases. Perry Calder, 412-281-4200. 412-281-4200. Perry Calder.
There is treatment for neuropathy. I'm Dr. Dawn Spalla. At Allegheny Health and Physical Medicine, we treat neuropathy patients daily. No drugs, no surgery, just relief. Call 724-224-2224 for a free consultation in our Sarver or Brackenridge locations.
A fire, it can change everything in seconds, but Service Master of Greater Pittsburgh is ready 24/7 to help restore what matters most. From smoke damage to full rebuilds, their experts are trained, trusted, and ready to work with your insurance. Fire damage? Demand the yellow van and get back to normal faster.
Demand the yellow van. Call Service Master.
Celebrate September with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at $129 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResPGH.com and take advantage of these huge savings. Zero Res.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I see all this coming in evolving. If you're an immigrant, your rights are gone. I'm not suggesting they deserve special treatment or different treatment or whatever, but he just said it. Man, if you don't come in on a visa, you're cooked. I mean, wow. And maybe that makes sense. Cut to the chase. Why mess with it? Why mess with it? Why mess with it? I mean, if you're the federal government, why mess with the minutiae as they see it? Huh? I wouldn't. And for the general public, I see 2 schools of thought. Number 1, the woman at the going crazy at the Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever the hell they are. They do the same at both. They see these guys. They know these guys. They work around these guys. They get upset. I get it. And then folks who go to these restaurants, they see these employees hauled out there. They get upset. I get it. I get it. I get all of it. I also see the Fed side. Boss calls you, says, "My man, here's the list. You go get this person on the list." "Yes, sir. See you at 5. Enjoy your day." And that's what they do. There is that narrative that we were all told and convinced that we would just be arresting murderers, rapists, and drug dealers, and that narrative changed. I get that too. That dynamic has changed. And now we're seeing the blowback on the economy, and it's big. I think Patrick pointed it out, and I saw it, more than 1.2 million immigrants out of the economy. That's a problem. It's a big, big friggin' problem. And the jobs report says, as a result, manufacturers are laying people off. So now we face those consequences. As Joseph Patrick Murphy said, it's a big old, very complex issue with significant moving parts. However, one thing I can tell you, if you see ICE guys and they're trying to arrest someone, get the blank out of their way. Don't be all Joan of Arc or Martha Stewart or whoever the hell you think you are that day, Judge Judy. I'm serious. Let them do their thing and you do yours. Drive away in your Range Rover. Cry when you get home that you might have to cut your own lawn.
Planning a vacation can be fun, but don't get taken by service fees and processing fees. SWAC Vacations lets you book direct. SWAC owns its own properties. The price you see is the price you pay. Michael Bartley here. My friend Jeff is the owner of SWAC, and you can trust you're going to get the best deal possible. That means more money for your family trip to Myrtle Beach, a luxury lodge in Deep Creek, or that massive Outer Banks house with room for everyone. Book direct. Save at SWACvacations.com. That's SWACK Vacations.com.
The biggest reason Metropolitan Window Company has been in business since 1978 is our huge list of satisfied customers.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're getting expertise and attention to detail from a trusted business that puts your needs first.
You're also getting our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows that are built for life.
The most important part of a window is the framing. Fiberglass frames won't lose their dimensional integrity. They're the strongest, longest-lasting window you can buy.
And right now, you can save 30% and get 18-month no-interest financing on every window and door product we offer.
Stop by one of our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Sunny and 73 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 1:30. I'm Paul Alexander. The roof and part of the front of an apartment building collapsed this morning in a 4-alarm fire in Squirrel Hill. Flames and heavy smoke were pouring from the roof of the Jefferson Apartments in the 5600 block of Forward Avenue. Public safety confirms all residents have been accounted for and there were no injuries. The Red Cross and Salvation Army are assisting displaced residents with their immediate needs. Pittsburgh Fire Chief Darrell Jones assessed the situation.
We are going to be here for a while. There are no injuries at this time. The residents are being taken care of by both the Red Cross and the Salvation Army, and the crews on scene are getting rehab according to our policy, and everything is going as well as can be expected.
There are some traffic issues, so certainly keep that in mind if you're traveling in that area. Pittsburgh police and the FBI are investigating after several local synagogues have received threatening letters. We have more from News Radio KDKA's David Bolorado.
Pittsburgh police say they're working with the FBI after a number of local synagogues received letters that contained vague threats against the Pittsburgh Jewish community. The Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh says while the letters are deeply disturbing, they want to assure the Jewish community that safety and security remain their top priority. Echoing that, a statement from Alan Hausman, the president of Tree of Life Synagogue, who said safety and security are their top priorities as they gear up to celebrate the upcoming Jewish holidays. The Federation says it continues to monitor the situation closely and is working to ensure that all Jewish institutions remain protected. David Bolorado, News Radio, KDKA.
Governor Josh Shapiro approved a $394 million funding shift to prevent SEPTA services cuts. Will Pittsburgh Regional Transit seek the same opportunity? News Radio KDKA's Tamara Rush has those details.
Senator Jay Costa tells the Big K Morning Show that both PRT and SEPTA can ask the state for access to capital investment funds and use the money for operations.
They're only allowed to do that once every year, and that's what's happening in Philadelphia. So SEPTA Systems asked the Secretary of Transportation to allow them to use capital dollars for operating for this upcoming year.
Costa says the request for $140 million in capital funds will offset route reductions and fare increases for the next 18 months to 2 years. Tamara Rush, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 151 points, the Nasdaq up 36, the S&P 500 is up 10 points. KDK Radio News Time is 1:32. Our next update at 2 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
When it comes to building Pennsylvania's future, the laborers are on the job. From highways and bridges to schools, hospitals, energy projects, the men and women of the Pennsylvania Laborers District Council deliver the skilled work that keeps our communities moving forward. Joe LaQuatra is leading the charge to train the next generation, protect worker safety, and stand up for fair wages and benefits. When laborers build, Pennsylvania grows stronger. The Pennsylvania Laborers District Council, working hard every day. My people.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine? We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. You can transform your life. Check us out at Navy.com. America's Navy. Forged by the sea.
Lunch was great. Lawrenceville is such a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Hi, folks. I'm with our good friend John Diagardi from Rome Monument. John, you were telling me earlier that people really should not rush into choosing a memorial for their loved one. Now, why is that?
We found that families need to take ample time to grieve first. Grief is not something that we get over, but rather something that we learn to live with. So the length of time to grieve varies from person to person.
You mentioned that the monument can't be placed right away.
That's right. There are certain things that need to take place before a monument can be installed. So it's really worth taking time to think about how to plan and design a memorial that truly reflects a person's life. It's actually a healing activity that helps to alleviate grief.
John, this makes a lot of sense.
It does, and when the time is right to proceed, not only can Roe Monument help families choose and design their memorial, we can help them save as much as 50% by eliminating the middleman.
Thanks, John. Folks, you can learn more by simply visiting RoeMonuments.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 platinum preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sunshine and nice this afternoon. We'll have a high of 75, then clear tonight, low 50. Patchy fog late tonight and early tomorrow, otherwise sunny, high 77. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Tune in to 1020 KDKA Radio for Medical Frontiers with Dr. Gerald Pfeiffer from the Allegheny Health Network every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. Dr. Pfeiffer and his special guests will cover the information that you want to know about your health and the latest trends in medicine.
The KDKA Radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us Wednesday on the Big K Morning Show, 5:30 until 10 in our 7 o'clock hour, our weekly visit with Rich Fitzgerald, a preview of another Artificial Intelligence Summit.
The ignorance of the violence in America. While people watch, while it all burns down, it's bizarre. This Ukrainian refugee who was stabbed to death on this train, we've been talking about this. It's the video's all over social. A mentally ill guy calmly sits down behind her. She's reading a damn book. She's skinny, tiny little thing. And he stabs her in the neck and just gets up and walks away. And then she sits there. They show her face, and she's silently horrified with blood coming out onto her hands. And I'm describing this. She died. There's a couple things that jump out at you. Number one, there are 5 people within 4 feet of her. Not one of them reacts. A man stabs a woman in the neck. And they friggin' sat there. One woman like, oh, yeah, okay. It's disgusting, man. It's so... Look, I ain't no hero, but I'm going after my man. It's game. I got to. And it's at least try and save this woman and a pressure pointer. She bled out. They sat there, man. I mean, the it's not my business thing. Yeah, it kind of is. So there's several factors. Number one, the friggin' judges that let this guy out, they should be in jail. Number two, the citizens that ignored this, let's hope they never need someone. They should be ashamed. It's disgusting. We got to do better, man. That poor thing's dead. It goes back to how I started the show this morning, man. These two adoptive parents pulled their kids' teeth out with friggin' pliers. And no one knew? No one. For a year. No one. Bull crap. We got to do something, man. And on a real basic level, at the real simple level, some clown dumped a whole truckload of crap right on the street on the south side. I posted it. And all you jagoffs, hey, it's a flea market. Shut up. Go away. For all the jagoffs out there with that kind of attitude, I'd like to dump that on your lawn. It's my whole thing. When I see some moron dumping a bag of McDonald's or throwing a cigarette butt out the window, I want to put that trash in their bed, on their lawn. And that trash, massive furniture, clothing, sat there for days. Rich Shupka, unofficial mayor of the South Side. All of it is so damn aggravating, isn't it not, my man?
Oh, absolutely, Marty. It's terrible.
All right, so this crap truckload or whatever the hell it is was dumped about 100 yards from your business.
Yeah, the old Majorca's parking lot right there on 23rd and Carson.
So someone didn't give a damn at all.
Not at all.
So we posted. 50,000 people watched it, and some said they were going to clean that up. Did they clean it up, sir?
I drove by about 2 hours ago. I didn't. It was still there. Everything was still there. There's scavengers going through everything over there now. Trying to anything of value they're taking.
How about Public Works? Anyone from the city clean it up? No attempt at all.
Well, yeah, I mean they Gainey hired an extra 200 public work guys. I don't know where they're at.
It's annoying as hell, isn't it?
It sure is. Every time you turn around, it's a different situation.
Wow. And this is a lot of stuff. I'd call it like a truckload, right?
Yeah. I mean, it goes for like 40, 45 feet of all debris, and there's papers and clothing and furniture, everything.
My man, I'm putting the word out again. Somebody has to step up and do their damn job and clean it up. Wouldn't that make sense, sir?
You would think that the South Side. I mean, the city of Pittsburgh. They said they're taking care of South Side. Well, they know, everybody knows about it, and it's still there.
It's part and parcel to what I'm talking about here. No one wants to take responsibility for anything, do they, sir?
Exactly right. It's always somebody else's fault.
The drugs.
Especially in the city of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County.
The drugs, the alcoholism, the crime committed by the homeless. Just move it around. Don't address it. That's what we see, don't we?
Yeah, we've been dealing with the violence and the homelessness and the violence in Southside for 6 years now, and it's still here.
Thanks, brother. I'm going to put the word out again. Let me know if it changes. All right.
Thank you, Marty.
All right, man. Seems to me that someone in Public Works should say, hey, get a truck and pick that crap up. Same exact thing happened last week. We reported the same exact thing in a different neighborhood. It just sits there. What neighborhood was that, Patrick? Huh?
Knoxville.
Knoxville. Same exact thing. Same exact thing. No one gives a damn. Public Works. Dump trucks. Employees sitting around. Why? You tell me.
Listen to the Marty Griffin Show. on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm with Joe Potocznik, JP Roofing and Siding. Congratulations, Joe. Triple Crown winner from Owens Corning.
Yes, Larry. We are proud to announce that we are recognized for service excellence, product excellence, and MVP based on marketing leadership and customer service.
Call Joe and his team. You'll get the best of the best. Get a free estimate for roof and siding replacements. Call the roofing replacement experts at JP Roofing and Siding, 412-829-7711. Congrats, Joe.
Thank you, Larry.
Hey, this is Lisa from Nest Expressions Window Fashions. I am so excited to offer this back-to-school special on all draperies made right here in Pittsburgh. Several fabrics are up to 50% off, so call 724-933-5500 or book online for a free shop-at-home appointment. NestExpressions.com. We would love to meet you in our new gallery on Village Run Road in Wexford. NestExpressions.com.
Go between the hash marks and get your football fix every Thursday evening at 6 with the Bowser Chevrolet Quest for the Best High School Football Show live from Dave & Buster's. Dan Zangrilli and the Dean of High School Sports, Mike White, break it all down. It's powered by Bowser Chevrolet and brought to you by Diulis Law and by Guardian Protection, your hometown home and business security company. Only on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Hello, it's Lena Dunham. I host a podcast called The C Word with my dearest friend and historian of bad behavior, Alyssa Bennett.
What is up?
It's a chat show about women whose society is called crazy.
We're going to be rediscovering the stories of women's society dismissed by calling them mad, sad, or just plain bad.
Listen to and follow The C Word with Lena Dunham and Alyssa Bennett. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Summer storms can spell disaster for your roof and more. At Home Genius Exteriors, we stop the damage before it starts. Call now during our summer savings event and get 50% off materials for your new roof. Plus, get no interest and no payments till 2027. Call Home Genius Exteriors at 855-UR-GENIUS to schedule your free roof and attic inspection. That's 855, the letter U, the letter R, Genius. Home Genius Exteriors, the genius choice in roofing. See website for details.
This one I got to pay attention to, and I'm telling you why, because it's getting cold, and we got a couple cranky old, beat-up old windows. Our house is 80 years old. Why wouldn't we? So you got to check out Universal Windows Direct, because listen to this. You buy 2 windows, you get 2 free. No limit, folks. And even better, 0% financing for 3 years. No interest, no pressure, and a bonus, $500 off the entire project when you schedule now. So schedule now. 412-545-6003. Universal Windows Direct right now. 412-545-6003. Look, they're got this technology in them. They keep the cold air out. They keep the warm air in. And I'm serious about this. Legit. Their incredible reputation, professional installation. They handle everything with care and precision and attention to detail. Universal Windows Direct. 412-545-6003.
Hey, it's Hader Filipponi. A lot of Pittsburghers have a problem, and boy, do I have a solution. If your garage floor looks awful, bad concrete, cracked, you've got peeling epoxy, paint that's yucky, call Comer & Cross Concrete Floors now during their end-of-year garage sale at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Right now, you're going to get the best price of the year, guaranteed, starting with $750 off. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard. It never cracks or chips like an epoxy or paint job. They'll make it so easy. They're in and out in one day. They're going to fix your garage floor cracks and pits perfectly the first time around. And here's a big one. No subcontractors. These are people that are qualified. They know what they're doing. They're even going to take the stuff out of the garage for you. So now is the time to call Comer & Cross for your best price of the year, guaranteed. They're going to start with $750 off during their end-of-year garage sale. So here's the number to remember, 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or go to COMERcross.com.
So in the time I've known Bob Tootie, his company, Tootie Mechanical, has put 400 free furnaces in homes. I'm serious. That's where they begin at Tootie Mechanical. Known Bob since high school. He's been that way since high school. The best service, the biggest heart, the greatest facilities and equipment. They use it there. Tweedy Mechanical. It's an amazing place. All about family and helping. 412-373-2000. 412-373-2000.
Wednesday night at 10, join us for I'm Listening, a special Odyssey program featuring some of the biggest names in news, sports, and music, and some of the most respected mental health professionals. Hosted by Carson Daly with Katie Neal. Talk saves lives. For more information, visit imlistening.org.
Brought to you by the Persad Center, advancing the mental health needs of the region with pride and promise for over 50 years.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I spend just about every night now at UPMC Montefiore with my sister Barb, who is fighting the fight, pancreatic cancer. The greatest nurses, the greatest doctors, the greatest attentive staff I've ever been around. Every single hour, every single staff member dedicated to her fight against the warrior from hell, I call it, pancreatic cancer. UPMC. Life-saving, life-changing information.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
My boy Jim sent me a note. Society is fed up. Is it? Is it really? Didn't seem that way in that train. If you see the video on social, it's all over X, and I posted it. Everybody has. She gets stabbed in the neck, and then 5 or 6 people just sit there. I'm not asking him to tackle a guy with a gun or a knife, because he moves to the front of the train. And they didn't even get him till he got off the train. I'm asking someone to get the blank up and apply some friggin' pressure on her neck and save her life. She was alive. She was sitting there. It's hard to look at. In shock, covering the wound. Tiny, tiny thing. 5 people at least sat there looking around. If I'm lying, I'm dying. So is it fed up, Jim? I don't know. Are you? Yeah. Would you do something? Oh yeah. You would do something mighty. Would I? Yeah. I'm not saying I'm good old Tom Cruise. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if the guy runs, fine. I'm applying pressure on that wound. I'm taking my hoodie off and calling 911 and screaming for a doctor. Fast. I'm doing that. I would think that would be what the 5 people sitting there would want to do. But I'm serious. You should see. They're completely oblivious. The poor thing covers her face with her mouth, and literally a woman, who's half asleep when she's stabbed, she's literally 1.5 feet, 2 feet away, if you see the video. She looks over, I swear, she looks over and okay. She literally doesn't care, and she's getting up to leave. I guess I'll go. She gets her backpack and gets up to go. Glances over at the woman who's just stabbed in the neck. Patrick, am I correct? She's completely... okay.
If you watch it, it happens so fast. I don't know that I would have reacted any faster. I really don't.
They did nothing. There's 3 people in the back. They're just watching the moon, and they can't see the moon. Bizarre. And I can't stop with the story out of Fayette. Reported this morning. You heard the DA talking about it. He's amazing. Riddle me this. When's the last time Steve Zappala was on the air at any local television or radio station? Huh? Months. The Fayette County DA has been accessible to all media, bringing them the truth. It's kind of pleasant. It's kind of refreshing to have a leader that leads, who wants to get to the bottom of something and fills in the public that's scared to death and wants to know. That's kind of what we like from a DA. Steve Zappala has not been on this radio station since he needed us well over a year ago to help him get reelected. That's not a political statement of mine. That's a fact. He is a ghost. Find him. Find him. I think he's with Waldo. It's aggravating. But that case for Jim, who says people are fed up, are they? Are they fed up in Fayette County? Those kids were not seen for over a year. By whom? So family members didn't see them starving to death. No one. No one heard the kids scream when they pulled their teeth out with pliers. Okay. No one. No judge, no lawyer, no cop, no mailman, no Amazon guy, no milkman, no one, the paper boy, no one. We sat and watched as they died. It's unacceptable. So is society fed up, Jim? I don't know. Not fed up enough. But let's finish with this. If not but for keenly aware, deeply concerned citizens who saw smoke from that fire this morning, because they're the ones that reported it. The fire alarm did not go off if there was one. There were no sprinklers from a building built in the 30s. So the fire was not reported from inside that building. Citizens who do give a damn called 911. Citizens who do give a damn raced inside to make sure everybody was out, and everybody is. Citizens who do give a damn help firefighters get to the root of where the flames were coming from. And the amazing firefighters still there right now, containing that blaze. Look, it's a horrible incident. However, it's a miracle. Not one injury. Not one. And that, my friends, is amazing, considering.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
At a time when children are in crisis, the Kids Mental Health Foundation envisions a future where mental health is a vital part of growing up, and support starts with all of us. At home, at school, at practice, everywhere kids are.
If you're at school having a bad day, you just don't want to do anything.
I just get these thoughts like, do better. All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed?
He's just in tears in the huddle. I was like, what's wrong? And he's just like, I'm just so frustrated, and I didn't know what to do.
None of my undergraduate studies talked about mental health.
Teachers need tons of help.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation is the leading organization promoting mental health for children in the U.S. and has free tools and information developed by experts.
Having those resources is the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
Check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Sunny and 74 degrees in Pittsburgh International at 2 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander. News brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick, 45 years of experience and thousands of 5-star reviews. The roof and part of the front of the apartment building collapsed this morning in a 4-alarm fire in Squirrel Hill. Flames and heavy smoke were pouring from the roof of the Jefferson Apartments in the 5600 block of Forward Avenue. News Radio KDK's Tamara Rush has been following this story all morning long, all afternoon long. She joins us live from the scene. Tamara.
Yeah, that's right, Paul. That 4-alarm fire that started shortly after 8 a.m. has been burning for approximately 6 hours. Fire Chief Daryl Jones tells me crews are still working to put out several hotspots, but the fire is largely under control.
We're going to send lead crews here to monitor this in case it flares up again, which it probably will. And I put into PLI, that's our Department of Permits, Licensing, and Inspection, for an emergency demolition on this building.
That is Tamara Rush reporting live from the scene in Squirrel Hill. There are traffic problems with the entrance ramp to the inbound Parkway East, closed until further notice. Murray Avenue is inaccessible in that area of the fire. Pittsburgh police and the FBI are investigating after several local synagogues have received threatening letters. We have more from News Radio KDK's David Ballarado.
Pittsburgh police say they're working with the FBI after a number of local synagogues received letters that contained vague threats against the Pittsburgh Jewish community. The Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh says while the letters are deeply disturbing, they want to assure the Jewish community that safety and security remain their top priority. Echoing that, a statement from Alan Hausman, the president of Tree of Life Synagogue, who said safety and security are their top priorities as they gear up to celebrate the upcoming Jewish holidays. The Federation says it continues to monitor the situation closely and is working to ensure that all Jewish institutions remain protected. David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
Arnold's police chief has resigned after being charged with theft, evidence tampering, and obstruction. Josh Stanga allegedly took cash from a stolen vehicle during an undercover operation. Stanga was placed on administrative leave in August last year. Rob House, who has been the officer in charge, will be named Arnold's new chief today at their council meeting. A major crossover project will reach a turning point this week. PennDOT says that Route 51 crossover sending northbound traffic into the southbound lanes is in its final week. The plan is returning northbound traffic to its proper side Friday night. It will be a while before we see rainfall. Since August 1st, just under 2 inches of rain has fallen. Andrew Kenzel, the National Weather Service, says the Pittsburgh area is now a 1/4 inch above normal rainfall for the year.
A little bit of a surplus, but we're seeing that drought come back. It's starting to feel almost like last year a little bit, where we had a really, really wet spring, and then we had a pretty bad drought there as we stretched dry months into the fall.
Andrew said a pattern of high pressure will keep things dry for the rest of the week. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 200 points. The NASDAQ is up 35. The S&P 500 is up 13. KDK Sports, Mike Tomlin announced today that Deshaun Elliott has an MCL sprain, will miss 2 to 3 weeks, and several sources have reported the Steelers have signed former Browns and Patriots safety Jabril Peppers. The Steelers play the home opener Sunday against Seattle. Pirates open a series in Baltimore tonight, first pitch, 6:35. KDK Radio News Time is 2:03. Time to call Botkin Family Wealth Management, a local veteran-owned independent financial planning and investment firm. 74 and sunny in Pittsburgh right now. Your AccuWeather forecast is next.
Well, folks, fall is fast approaching, and the September Weiner Wellness Weekend is the 19th and 20th with workshops from 10 to 2 on Friday and Saturday featuring Dr. Tracy Stroop, Dr. Len Brantzwitz, and Dr. Dennis Courtney. A delicious, healthy lunch will be provided from 11 to 2, and, of course, lots of samples, healthy treats, all in honor of Jamie Dorley's birthday. The discounts on your favorite supplements start August 25th. All of this is the World of Wellness, 2419 Baldwick Road, Pittsburgh. That's 2419 Baldwick Road, Pittsburgh.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents
and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
It's Marty. I'm here with Harold Shepley. I'll tell you why I reached out to him and how we met. I noticed that you help people. It's kind of your instinct, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I feel called. I feel that helping people with their finances is my calling in life.
And check this out. You were bankrupt once.
I did. I've lived through this. I've walked through it, and I got treated like absolute garbage, and I felt that no one else should ever have to feel that bad ever again.
Folks, this is the real deal. ShepleyLaw.com.
Planning a vacation can be fun, but don't get taken by service fees and processing fees. SWAC Vacations lets you book direct. SWAC owns its own properties. The price you see is the price you pay. Michael Bartley here. My friend Jeff is the owner of SWAC, and you can trust you're going to get the best deal possible. That means more money for your family trip to Myrtle Beach, a luxury lodge in Deep Creek, or that massive Outer Banks house with room for everyone. Book direct. Save at SWACvacations.com. That's SWACK Vacations.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Mostly sunny for the rest of this afternoon. Very pleasant, a high of 75. It'll be mainly clear and cool again tonight, low 49 with some areas of fog late. Mostly sunny tomorrow and a high of 76. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Brian Thompson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's the perfect time to refresh your home before the holidays with Lachina Drapery and Blind Factory, your local experts in custom window treatments. Call Lachina today for free convenient shop-at-home service, 412-665-4900, or visit lachinadrapery.com.
It's a match made in heaven. Your drive home and Colin Dunlap. Only on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, here we go. On this Tuesday, big breaking news, the fire in Squirrel Hill. We'll keep you abreast of that. So much happening, and I do want to talk to you, 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. Also, voice a little bit better today. Probably at about 88 to 91% is about where I am. Listen for The Drive at 5. Stories driving the news every single day at 5. It's all brought to you by Service Master of Greater Pittsburgh. Demand the yellow van. That's Service Master of Greater Pittsburgh. Drive at 5 actually will involve Service Master. John Samick, the owner of Service Master. I want to talk to him about, you take a fire like today, right? At an old building, an old apartment building in Squirrel Hill. And there are plenty like it. Shadyside, Oakland, the Hill, some old neighborhoods like that. And what is the future of buildings like that? Can they be salvaged? Do you have to tear them down? Where do you go from here? And I'll talk to John about that at 5. In the 4 o'clock hour, just at 5, I'll talk to good friend Randy Dye. And it's Suicide Awareness Month. He's got an incredible story, and he's coming to town to speak on Thursday about an initiative that is very, very important to him. And you're going to want to hear this coming up at 4. But let's start here at 866-391-1020. This audio from the fire in Squirrel Hill is just, well, it's heartbreaking.
The material stuff you can replace with my little kitty. She's only 7 pounds. She has to be scared to death. You can replace the material things, but not the people.
That's a lady named Judy Ann Wakefield. Little more.
Oh, we heard the smoke alarms. We could smell like burnt wires, and my caregiver went out and then came back, and the firemen helped us out.
Yikes. It's just all so terrible. And Chief Jones spoke to it.
We're going to send leave crews here to monitor this in case it flares up again, which it probably will. And I put into PLI, that's our Department of Permits, Licensing, and Inspection, for an emergency demolition on this building.
Now, I was on my way into the Fort Pitt Tunnel today, on my way into work, right there, kind of above the stadium. And on my way in, and I looked to my left above Station Square, and way off in the distance, keep this in mind, and this was rated about a minute or so before 10 o'clock, I could see the haze from the smoke all the way there. Keep that in mind. That's just how big this was. But let's talk about this, and I want your honest thoughts at 866-391-1020, either on the text line or let's have a conversation on the phone line. Think about back to when you're really small, elementary school especially. We have a disproportionate and an inordinate amount of fire drills, fire preparedness, right? You may have, like me, had the fire company bring their truck, show you all about this stuff, stop, drop, and roll. All of that, right? And it's kind of beat into your head, especially when you're a little kid. What to do, a fire drill, the sirens, the sounds, all the different things, and the way to go about your business in the unfortunate event of a fire. That is when you're 6, when you're 7, when you're 10. And it feels like that's all jam-packed and crammed into your head when you're a little kid. Okay? Then it sort of goes by the wayside. How many fire drills do you have at work as an adult? How many times does the fire alarm go off when you're an adult and you look for excuses as to say, well, it's a false alarm. And I'm not paying attention to that. How did it go off? Why did it go off? Burnt toast, I'm sure. So as you sit here now, and I need to have this conversation with myself, when you see the events of today, how prepared are you truly to act in a fire emergency? I think that's something that when you have times like these, you can look in the mirror and make it applicable to yourself. Because I thought about that today. It's got to be the worst thing that can happen to you, or one of them, in terms of you're going about your business. You may be sleeping. You may just be sitting around. And then there's no time to act. You just have to get it done. And they tell you, have a plan, a meeting spot, all that kind of stuff for your family. I don't have that. It sounds nice, and I wonder how many people truly do. They tell you to have a plan in terms of what's going to happen with this window, that window, an evacuation plan. I could lie to you very easily and say, we've all congregated as a family and said, this is what happens in the event of a fire. And you go this way, I go this way. You meet there. We go down these steps. If that door is blocked, none of that's happened. Maybe I'm a terrible father, perhaps a terrible husband. I don't know. But I think back to the amount of information that was given to us when we were little kids, and how many times it was told to us. And it was almost kind of call and respond. You had that ingrained because of how many angles you got it from. Taught finder stickers, right? Things like that. But you got it from so many angles. You got it from school. You got it from home. You got it from the fire department. You got it from so many different ways. But it has sort of gone out the window, I think, or at least we've taken it for granted. As society has gotten better with technology, there's not going to be a fire in my house. There's just not. There was a fire by my house last year, and it was not on my street, but as the crow flies through the woods. And it was probably about 1,200 yards from my house. And it was one of those batteries that blew up inside someone's garage. And before they knew it, their whole front of their house was in flames. They all had to just go out the back. But the thing is, I don't know if they had a plan or not. It was just you wake up and you're in the middle of it. You got to figure it out. So at 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020, you see those pictures, you hear those stories about what happened today in Squirrel Hill, and you hear Chief Jones say things like this.
We're going to send lead crews here to monitor this in case it flares up again, which it probably will.
it probably will. There will be flare-ups. He also said this.
Put into PLI, that's our Department of Permits, Licensing, and Inspection, for an emergency demolition on this building. Since it's partially collapsed, and after all the water we dumped into it, it's not stable.
Such a situation that it's collapsed, in such a situation that they're going to demolish it. And I think about, it can go from being a bright, nice, wonderful, sunshiny day to an hour later being disaster where they're going to knock down a building. Not to say anybody has a plan for that, but do you have a plan for a fire in your house? It really made me reflect this morning. 866-391-1020. That's 866-391-1020. NASCAR Roofing, instant access to all our shows. Just a click away. Email us. Instant access, KDKA-radio.com.
Listen to Colin Dunlap on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
That leaf pile is 100 feet tall. Your dad can't handle this. Not without the right equipment.
Yard work piling up? Gear up for fall with John Deere. Get $750 off select mowers, $2,000 off select Gator UVs, and $3,000 off select compact tractors.
Did I hear your dad got a John Deere? Yep, bad day to be a leaf pile.
Gear up for fall at an authorized John Deere dealer, now through September 30th. Learn more at johndeere.com/gearupforfall.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
How long have you had sharp pains in your heel or that burning sensation on the bottom of your feet? Do you want to lose weight and exercise, but cannot because of foot, ankle, knee, or low back pain? Many people come to the Good Feet store and talk about these same issues. The Good Feet store has helped thousands of customers.
The pain in my foot was so bad I could not walk for any length of time. I walked in the Good Feet store in pain, and I walked out pain-free.
Good Feet arch supports fit in all your own shoes. Ladies, you can now be comfortable in your favorite high heels. Visit us in Robinson Town Center, in Cranberry Township, in Morgantown at Suncrest Town Center, or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
No shots, no surgery, and no medication. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store. Come in for a free test walk today.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Super September savings underway at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. Hickory smoked Sugardale bacon, 1-pound packages, $3.99 each. Jumbo California honeydews, 2 for $5. And selected varieties of Haagen-Dazs Belgian waffle cones, 4-count package, $2.99 each. Additional savings in our meat department. Bone-in country-style spare ribs, $1.99 a pound. And boneless, skinless tilapia fillets, $9.99 a pound. In our produce department, locally grown bicolor corn, 6 for $3. And locally grown eggplant, 99 cents each. In our deli department, Eckeridge spicy pineapple ham is $8.99 a pound, and Boar's Head sweet barbecue chicken breast, $11.99 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of Coke, Sprite, or Dr. Pepper, 6-pack half-liter bottles, 4 for $15.
So get in on all the Super September savings at Coons Market. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Life changes, and each year, so does Medicare. It's time to review and change your 2026 plans with annual enrollment coming next month. Once it passes, your options are limited. Do you need Part C? Act now. Free personalized Medicare plan comparisons. Pittsburgh-based Need Part C. NeedPartC.com.
If you're thinking it, he's saying it. Colin Dunlap on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Oh, I'm going to tell you in just a little bit about big protests coming to Western Pennsylvania. Wait till you hear about these. As always, you can listen to us 100.1 FM AM 1020 KDK or on the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY. You can also watch us online, KDK's video stream. It's all presented by Metropolitan Window Company. Just go to KDKRadio.com and click on Watch KDK Radio's live stream. Or now you can go to KDK Radio's YouTube page to watch everything that we are doing in the studio. And it's always so fun what we're doing in the studio. I promise you. But be sure to subscribe to the YouTube page so you don't have to go and click on it every single day. Also, the situation in Charlotte. And I'll get to your calls here in a minute. Great tweet here. Great tweet from a guy named Santino Mark Anthony Perugini. And that's his real name and his real picture. For some reason, racists like you all of a sudden care about a Ukrainian being murdered so that you can use it to further your racist agenda. Yeah, it's racist to care about no cash bail and the fact that people who have 14 convictions shouldn't be out walking amongst us. Racist. Easy crutch. We'll get into that a little bit later. Racist. Super racist. 866-391-1020. Back to fire, though. How prepared truly are we? Just an incredible show of force from fire today. And it's a tough thing. From the chief.
We are going to be here for a while. There are no injuries at this time. The residents are being taken care of by both the Red Cross and the Salvation Army, and the crews on scene are getting rehab according to our policy, and everything is going as well as can be expected.
Yeah, and as well as can be expected in a disaster like this is something that is absolutely still really tough to understand. Linda is in Pittsburgh. Hi, Linda.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Yes, I was in a fire in December 5th of 2017. Still trying to recover. I was in Murray Towers.
Okay.
Quill Hill. So this is brought up a lot. And we were told there's never a false alarm.
Mm-hmm.
And not only yet, but you definitely have to have a way out. And I learned this when I was 7 in another fire.
Oh, my gosh.
I always keep my dog on a leash. You run out through the planned route. You can't see a thing. Okay, this business of getting low does not work. It was from floor to ceiling, black smoke. The guy in the next door, that's where the fire originated, right next door, he died of smoke inhalation. I tried to help him out, got him in the stairwell, but that was not enough. But also, for small fires, fire extinguishers, they now make the kind where all you have to do is spray.
Yeah, I know. I have one of those in my garage. Did you have access to one when that happened, Linda?
Oh, well, not when that happened, no. No, there was no way you could get to anything. I had my dog because he was ready. We ran out of there, but I had a planned route. You know, I had to go down. You can't go up the steps. You have to go down. The closest exit of course, was up a flight of steps, but I went down from the 3rd floor all the way down. And I was screaming at the firemen. There were 13 fire trucks out front here. And, screaming over them. I was hoarse for a month.
Oh, man. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and I'm glad that you made it out. And it's just got to be horrific to be so close to somebody who did it. Now, I'm getting texts from some people I know on a couple different avenues, right? And somebody who's been close to this that has investigated a lot of these fires, and somebody who makes a career in this says to tell people to make sure to get renter's insurance. That's one thing. That's a big thing. And another person I know says, as a career firefighter, I can't tell you how much of a difference smoke detectors make. I've seen them save lives when they're present, and I've seen people who never knew they had a fire in the house and left the house in a body bag because they didn't have smoke detectors. Not having a working smoke detector in your house is the equivalent of driving without a seatbelt. It doesn't make a difference until it does. 866-391-1020. That's 866-391-1020. The images, the reports, everything. Tamara Rush being on the scene and painting a picture for us, it shakes you today. It just does, because it's a massive building, but you can make it applicable to your living situation. And that's kind of what I did today. I started thinking, well, do I have a plan? Am I sure that I can get out? Do I know what I got going on? And I don't necessarily know if I have my plan as locked down solid as I need to. It's one of those things that I think probably needs to have a rolling referendum that you need to revisit. And it's really crazy in that the amount of information that is crammed into us at such a young age, and then after we're like 16 or 17, it's kind of not revisited all that much. It's just one of those things where, okay, you're supposed to learn it when you're a little kid, retain it the rest of your life, and then go about and use it in the very unfortunate event that you're actually part of a fire and it happens to you. Jerry's in the car. Hi, Jerry. How are you?
Hey, Colin. This is very good information that you're giving out. But one thing I would encourage people to do, and I'm a volunteer fireman myself, one thing that I did is I have elderly parents that are pretty much infirmed, and I would encourage people to call their local department, and most departments have a day shift that, will answer the phone. And if they have elderly parents who maybe don't walk so well, to send them to reach out to the fire department or email the chief and say, hey, listen, I have these elderly parents who don't walk so well or handicapped, just to let you know so they can pass that along to their dispatch.
Just to have that address flagged pretty much, Jerry.
Yeah, and also if they have things like a stair glide, because there's the idea, and, entertainment does that, the perception when you have a structure fire that, it's like a movie where, you can see getting out and that stuff like that. But I tell people, imagine putting a cover over your face and closing your eyes and trying to get out of your house.
Jeez. Man, it's just chilling information, it is, and to try to put yourself in that situation. We'll talk about this a little more, and there's another protest coming to Pittsburgh. Wait till you hear about all of this. All that straight ahead after news. Right here, KDK.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins. What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning?
RV wins!
Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping?
RV wins!
Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast?
RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Sunny and 74 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 2:30. I'm Paul Alexander. A large 4-alarm fire in Squirrel Hill is mostly under control after crews battled flames for 6 straight hours. Pittsburgh Bureau of Fire Chief Daryl Jones tells KDKA Radio, while the fire is largely under control, his crews will be on the scene for the foreseeable future.
We're going to send lead crews here to monitor this in case it flares up again, which it probably will. And I put into PLI, that's our Department of Permits, Licensing, and Inspection, for an emergency demolition on this building.
The initial call came in at 8:25 Tuesday morning, with crews arriving at 8:30. Crews found flames on the 3rd floor and immediately evacuated the building. Everyone escaped the building safely. No injuries reported. Jones says an investigation is underway. Pittsburgh police and the FBI are investigating after several local synagogues have received threatening letters. We have more from News Radio, KDKA's David Ballarado.
Pittsburgh police say they're working with the FBI after a number of local synagogues received letters that contained vague threats against the Pittsburgh Jewish community. The Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh says while the letters are deeply disturbing, they want to assure the Jewish community that safety and security remain their top priority. Echoing that, a statement from Alan Hausman, the president of Tree of Life Synagogue, who said safety and security are their top priorities as they gear up to celebrate the upcoming Jewish holidays. The Federation says it continues to monitor the situation closely and is working to ensure that all Jewish institutions remain protected. David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
While facing deep service cuts, one local lawmaker suggests PRT consider a request to divert capital projects money to fill its budget's gap. News Radio KDKA's Tamara Rush has the details.
Senator Jay Costa tells the Big K Morning Show that PRT has the same opportunity as SEPTA, where they can use capital funds to avoid a planned 35% service cut and a fare increase.
We're recommending to PRT that they do the same thing. Ask that they take the $140 million they get for the capital investments and flip them and flex them into operating costs.
He says there are consequences when diverting the capital funds.
We're taking money away from capital investments in new buses and new trolleys and new tracks, et cetera, new facilities.
Costa says these funds for operations would not fix Pittsburgh Regional Transit's projected $100 million annual budget deficit. Tamara Rush, News Radio KDKA.
Plans have been unveiled for an expansion at the intermediate school building at the Seneca Valley School District. John Pappas of Eccles Construction Services says the $165 million project, to be done in phases, will connect a portion of its current academic area to the neighboring senior high school through a new 3-story addition.
That'll be done as kind of the first phase of the project. Then a portion of the classroom area of the existing intermediate high school will be raised and allow for a new performing arts center to be included, which will also connect back into the existing high school.
Pappas says the project will go out to bid in the next month or so. Work could start on phase 1 by next February or March, with the final project being completed by the summer of 2030. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 241 points, the Nasdaq up 23, the S&P 500 is up 12. KDK Radio News time is 2:32. Our next update at 3. I'm Paul Alexander, and the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. My guys at Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks specialize in slate. Not every construction company has the knowledge and training in working with slate. I have slate on my home. It can get expensive, but it can also last 100 years. Do it right the first time. Call Sam and Calvin to get on their schedule right now. They also specialize in decks and siding. Call thecousins.com. That's callthecousins.com. I trust them. So should you. Call thecousins.com.
Somewhere in a jail cell. Hey, what's the name of that security company that caught us again? Guardian Protection. It's always Guardian Protection.
Hello, we're Guardian Protection, your trusted hometown security pros, proudly protecting local homes and businesses. With proactive video surveillance, AI detection, and smart security systems, Guardian helps stop crime before it happens. Call 1-800-PROTECT today or visit GuardianProtection.com for special new customer offers. Guardian Protection. Burglars know us. You should too.
Hey, it's Hader Filipponi. A lot of Pittsburghers have a problem, and boy, do I have a solution. If your garage floor looks awful, bad concrete, cracked, you've got peeling epoxy, paint that's yucky, call Comer & Cross Concrete Floors now during their end-of-year garage sale at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Right now, you're going to get the best price of the year, guaranteed, starting with $750 off. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard. It never cracks or chips like an epoxy or paint job. They'll make it so easy. They're in and out in one day. They're going to fix your garage floor cracks and pits perfectly the first time around. And here's a big one. No subcontractors. These are people that are qualified. They know what they're doing. They're even going to take the stuff out of the garage for you. So now is the time to call Comer & Cross for your best price of the year, guaranteed. They're going to start with $750 off during their end-of-year garage sale. So here's the number to remember, 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or go to COMERcross.com.
At AHN, we see you juggling 100 things at once. That's why we made it easier to book with the doctors you need. With AHN online scheduling, you can book with your primary care provider or get time with a specialist. Visit ahn.org/schedule, answer a couple of simple questions, and search for providers, locations, and times that work best for you. Easy online scheduling. Because at AHN, we see you.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It's going to remain very pleasant through the rest of this afternoon with sunshine, a high of 75. Mainly cleared tonight, low 49. There will be areas of fog late tonight into early tomorrow. Otherwise, mostly sunny tomorrow, high 76. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Brian Thompson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Celebrate September with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at $129 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResPGH.com and take advantage of these huge savings. Zero Res.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at KennyRoss.com.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us Wednesday on the Big K Morning Show, 5:30 until 10 in our 7 o'clock hour, our weekly visit with Rich Fitzgerald, a preview of another Artificial Intelligence Summit.
All right, that's big. Excuse me, 866-391-1020 is the number here. Seeing Channel 4 reporting a few minutes ago that, let me make sure I get this name right here. Jelly the cat was rescued from Pittsburgh's Squirrel Hill apartment fire, reunited with family. That's Jelly the cat. I don't know if that was the cat that the lady who talked to Tamira was looking for or not, but at least there's one cat that's been reunited. All right. Let's get into this at 866-391-1020, because I think we need to talk about this. No Kings, okay? That movement. You remember that they had a protest not too long ago. Over the summer, they had one. And I guess it was effective. This was in June because there's still not a king in America. So, anyhow, they had protests across Western Pennsylvania. In Pittsburgh, Greensburg, Cranberry. They used the No Kings name to voice opposition back then in June to President Trump and his administration's policies. In downtown, outside the city-county building, they filled Grant Street from 4th to 5th. And they also took over a parking lot across from the city-county building. You know where that one is, right across. Downtown protests lasted like 6 hours and closed down all the streets. It was peaceful. Good for them. So they're having another one. Now, it doesn't say anything about Cranberry or Greensburg, but they are having another gathering to take place on October 18th. Now, for those of you scoring at home, October 18th is a Saturday, just like the other one. So this is going to happen. They announced a nationwide day of protests would happen on that day. And there's a person named Tracy Baton, B-A-T-O-N, or Baton, like Baton Rouge. And that person's the director of Indivisible Pittsburgh. And Tracy confirmed on Monday that they have received a permit to gather at the City County building at 12:30 on that day, October 18th. Now, this No Kings protest and this movement, right now in its current form, is outraged by President Trump's deployment of military guards to U.S. cities. And that's why it's planning this second wave. Okay? Because since the summer, the Trump administration has deployed the National Guard to L.A. and Washington, D.C., and there are talks about Chicago and maybe some other cities. I have a thought here, and one that nobody can give me a solid answer on. So it's 12:30 in the afternoon, and you're going to stand outside the City County building and the Caligari statue and all of that in Pittsburgh. The National Guard isn't coming here. They're just not. Okay? If you are so upset about this, I challenge protesters to do this. Have your protests at 11 p.m. on a Saturday in Southeast D.C. or West Garfield Park, Chicago, if you're so brave. Do that. If you feel that everywhere in this country is so safe, don't go where the National Guard isn't going. Go to those places that have been identified as those hot spots. It's real simple to do it this way. And you fool people. There doesn't need to be any added security. There doesn't need to be any added security. Life is grand. It's wonderful. Why would they have the National Guard? You might as well just have your protest on Fox Chapel Road. You're going on to Grant Street with a permit at 12:30 on a Saturday afternoon in October. There's like 7 people downtown. And on top of it, Pittsburgh doesn't need the National Guard. They just need to hire more police. Put your money where your mouth is. Go to Southeast D.C. And I've got the spot for you. I'll drive you to Anacostia High School. Go right across the street there, about a block and a half over from it. Right on that intersection. You don't even need to wait till 11 o'clock. We'll go like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Because it'll be dark by then, that time of year. And I'll drop all you protesters off, and you go and shout about No Kings right there in Southeast, and you see how safe you are. Same thing with West Garfield Park in Chicago. Why don't you go there? Or let's do this. On a night that the White Sox don't have a game. Hell, they can even have a game. How about I'll rent a bus and we'll go, and everybody that's a No Kings protester who's brave enough, if you really want to talk about being not wanting the National Guard anywhere, I'll drop you right on the other side of the White Sox Park, right in the middle of Cabrini Green. And let's see what's up. It's really simple to have these protests in places like 228 in Cranberry, in places like the City County building in Pittsburgh on a Saturday afternoon, in places like, are you ready for it? Hold on. Greensburg, Pennsylvania, where it's so scary. Go to the places that have been identified as places that aren't so nice. And let's see if you're singing the same tune. What you're doing is you're trying to skew what the true eye of this storm is. And you can fool a lot of people, like you're going to. You're going to go down there, you're going to chant, you're going to have all these signs. Some of them will be vulgar in nature. Some of them will be ridiculous. Some might actually be funny. But you're not going to get to the heart of the matter. You are protesting the National Guard going into places that are bad. But you're standing in places where the National Guard would never need to go. Or do this. The places that have been identified as those bad spots, those hot spots. Rather than protesting against people going in there, the National Guard, why don't you roll up your sleeves and volunteer in those places and see for yourself if they're bad? But you wouldn't dare do that. Hell, you won't even walk up on the hill. But you're going to go ahead and lecture everybody else in this country about how it doesn't need to have any backup. It doesn't need to have reinforcements. You wouldn't even drive through Southeast D.C. in an armored car. But you're going to tell me all about this. That's why these No Kings protests are actually kind of hilarious. They are. You're rallying all like-minded people. You're rallying in the safest places possible. And you're trying to get visibility on social media and different news networks to get your thoughts out and skew the narrative. Go where they matter and see if you feel the same way. 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. Top of the hour. I do want to get into something, and I can't read my own frickin' writing about it. What did I write here? This is really something that... What in the world? I don't know. I'm going to figure it out between now and the top of the hour, what we're going to talk about, because I can't read my own writing. Unbelievable. I got to do a better job. Do you ever write stuff down and you're like, oh, I'll remember it? When we get to it, I'll totally remember it. But then in the moment, when you're trying to read it, you can't see it at all. And you're like, I should have just written it a lot better, and now I can't read it, and this is terrible, and it's ridiculous. Oh, I know what it is. A homeless survey. We must talk about this because it yielded really interesting results. That's coming up at 3 o'clock. Man, I'm all over the place. Happy Tuesday, KDK.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Shopping for replacement windows? Metropolitan Window Company elevates your shopping experience.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you'll experience personalized knowledge, expertise, and professionalism from our first visit to your home until our craftsmen complete your installation.
We're the window company that people want in their homes, and our exclusive Infinity by Marvin 100% fiberglass windows are the windows people love.
They're built for life. They are the strongest, longest-lasting windows you can buy.
And we have a great selection of colors and finishes. Experience Metropolitan Window Company. Stop by our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults, focused on the future. Classes start September 17th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wednesday night at 10, join us for I'm Listening, a special Odyssey program featuring some of the biggest names in news, sports, and music, and some of the most respected mental health professionals. Hosted by Carson Daly with Katie Neal. Talk saves lives. For more information, visit imlistening.org.
Brought to you by the Prasad Center, advancing the mental health needs of the region with pride and promise for over 50 years.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
You're at the pharmacy counter. You plan to head for vacation, but insurance says it's too soon to refill. The copay's higher than last time, again. And now they need a prior authorization, so you wait and wait for something you needed today. At Blueberry Pharmacy, we cut all that out. No insurance games, no delays, just upfront pricing, fast delivery to Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, and Florida, and real people who actually help, like me. Call or text 412-612-2279 or visit blueberrypharmacy.com and breathe easy again.
Barry and Steve Aronich from Petite Kitchen and Bath Design Center. You know, getting something new creates excitement. For instance, on a scale of 1 to 10, a new TV might be a 3.
A new car might be a 7. But getting a brand new kitchen or bathroom, that is a 10. Few things equal the exhilaration and joy of finding just the right design for the kitchen or bath of your dreams.
And then there's the anticipation you feel as Petite's expert craftsmen transform your dream into a reality. From custom creation to expert installation, our family-owned business has been making people happy for almost 60 years.
Let us help you experience the one-of-a-kind joy you'll get from a brand new kitchen or bathroom from Petite. Visit us on Route 50 just off the Carnegie exit. Call 412-279-2222 or click PATETE kitchens.com. Haven't you waited long enough? PA 625.
At LaFace & McGovern, they're proud to be Pittsburgh's trusted partner in lighting, controls, services, and power solutions. For 48 years, L&M has worked alongside architects, engineers, and contractors to bring innovative, sustainable solutions to life. From specification support and technical expertise to project management and specialty lighting, their team is dedicated to delivering excellence. L&M believes in building relationships, supporting community, and helping spaces shine brighter. LaFace & McGovern, lighting the way for Pittsburgh since 1977.
Pittsburgh, tired of using your summer's painting year after year? Then do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
And right now you can get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers.
I think it increases the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Unitree Robotics is planning an initial public offering that could value the company at up to $7 billion. This fresh valuation would mark a sharp jump from its latest fundraising round reported in June. Unitree earlier revealing that it was expecting to submit the application documents in the fourth quarter of 2025. The head of the Federal Aviation Administration saying the agency has not made a decision on whether to lift the 38 planes per month 737 MAX production cap in place at Boeing since early 2024, or how it oversees company production. The FAA imposing the unprecedented production cap shortly after a January 2024 mid-air emergency. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says Ford is recalling roughly 1.5 million vehicles in the U.S. due to a rear view camera issue. The recall applies to Lincoln models and more. I'm Chad Robinson on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's Colin Dunlap on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, here we go. 866-391-1020 is that number. That's 866-391-1020. So much happening today. That fire in Squirrel Hill is just really, really something. I'll say again, I was on my way into work. I was right about to go into the Fort Pitt Tunnel, and it was slow, as usual, like right above the Riverhound Stadium, you know. And I looked to my left, and you could see all the way down, and you could just see the haze that was evident miles and miles away. And it's just, Just crazy stuff, how far you could see it. Oh, I have found the most athletic person. Even though he failed in this endeavor, I have found the most athletic person in the world, I think. You ready?
Oliver Strumfeld's attempt to recapture his Guinness World Record for carrying the most beer steins at once, over 40 meters, were recently shattered. He held the record back in 2017 when he got 29 over the finish line. So this year, he went for 31. But as a crowd cheered him on, several mugs fell and broke, leaving him soaked. But Strumfeld, who's a waiter in a beer tent, is not discouraged. He says he'll try again next year. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
I'm not discouraged. I'd like to, back in my drinking days, I would have liked to go to Oktoberfest. That's one thing I didn't do in my life. And I kind of don't have any interest now. But he got 29 over the line. 29 beer steins. So you've got to stack them up. You only got 2 hands. That's pretty incredible to do that. I mean, think about that. That's like 15 in each hand pretty much. That's getting it done. Those people that work those tents at Oktoberfest, you see some of those videos of the people carrying all those beers. Some of the most athletic endeavors you'll ever see. Dave's in Rankin. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Colin, I'd love to do that too, but I don't have a personal stein, unfortunately. I should get one. But we went to a great one out at you ever been to the one that they have in Wexford every year? It used to be Rosen and Perry, but it's a different law firm now.
No, I have not. The best Oktoberfest I've probably ever been to was, there's one in northern Kentucky, like right across the river from Cincinnati. That's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, this one out there was fantastic, and I'd love to go back. Just there's always something going on. That's coming up, I think, pretty soon. But
well, back in the day, too, like this is circa like 2000 and in and around there in the early 2000s. Penn Breweries was fantastic.
Yeah, I've been down there. It's still pretty good, but it's really pricey these days.
So
anyway, about the fires and preparedness. I'm not nearly prepared as I should be. I live alone. I think if my mother was still living or my parents, I was a fireman growing up, and I was a lot more careful. We never did have smoke detectors. We had carbon monoxide detectors, which my mother was adamant about. And at one time or another, we had fire extinguishers. I mean, I do check the burners before I leave every day, but that's not enough. I mean, it's an older house with older wiring, and you just never know. So I should do more. But being that I live alone, I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah, I think it does. This is going to not just the fire in Squirrel Hill, but for multiple factors. But this can serve as kind of a moment. It's going to force me to kind of reevaluate things. I know where the fire extinguishers are. I know that somebody from Guardian was just there to like check it all out in the smoke detectors and everything else. We change the batteries once a year, but it does force you to reevaluate and maybe formulate a plan. I think that that's in the place that I'm in. Anyway, 866-391-1020 is that number. Top of the hour, a very interesting homeless survey. And I'm going to tell you, we got to talk about it a little bit. There's so much happening on today's show. News in just a little bit right here, KDK.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independence Health, a look at all things healthcare with the experts from Independence Health System. It's brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Sunny and 75 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 3 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander. News brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick with their famous lifetime warranty on materials and labor. Trust PJ.com. A massive fire destroys apartment building in Pittsburgh's Squirrel Hill neighborhood. News Radio KDK's Tamara Rush has the details.
A large 4-alarm fire in Squirrel Hill is mostly under control after crews battled flames for 6 straight hours. Pittsburgh Bureau of Fire Chief Daryl Jones tells KDKA Radio, while the fire is largely under control, his crews will be on the scene for the foreseeable future, putting out several hotspots.
We're going to send lead crews here to monitor this in case it flares up again, which it probably will. And I put into PLI, that's our Department of Permits, Licensing, and Inspection, for an emergency demolition on this building.
The initial call came in at 8:25 a.m. Tuesday morning, with first crews arriving at 8:30. Crews found flames on the 3rd floor and immediately evacuated the building. Everyone escaped the building safely and no injuries were reported. Jones says an investigation is underway. Tamara Rush, News Radio KDKA.
Pittsburgh police say a missing man has been found dead. 42-year-old Stephen Williams was last seen leaving the downtown Wyndham Friday night and seen on Strawberry Way shortly after midnight that night. Police say the cause and manner of death will be determined by the Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office. Pittsburgh police say and the FBI are investigating after several local synagogues have received threatening letters. We have more from News Radio KDK's David Ballarado.
Pittsburgh police say they're working with the FBI after a number of local synagogues received letters that contained vague threats against the Pittsburgh Jewish community. The Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh says while the letters are deeply disturbing, they want to assure the Jewish community that safety and security remain their top priority. Echoing that, a statement from Alan Hausman, the president of Tree of Life Synagogue, who said safety and security are their top priorities as they gear up to celebrate the upcoming Jewish holidays. The Federation says it continues to monitor the situation closely and is working to ensure that all Jewish institutions remain protected. David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
2 Sewickley men are going to prison for 6 to 12 years for torturing a 62-year-old man in his home. News Radio KDK's Paul Rasmussen has more.
Noah Sadowski and Dylan Morris, both in their 30s, pleaded guilty in June to aggravated assault, robbery, burglary, conspiracy, and other crimes. Court paperwork says the pair ambushed John Olson at his home on Little Street in April of 2024. He was on the back porch when they pushed him inside, threw him to the floor, and handcuffed and gagged him. The men burned Olson with cigarettes, superglued his eyes, cut his face with a knife, held a gun to his head, and urinated on him, torturing Olson for hours.
Sadowski and Morris also stole the World War II service medals Olson's father was awarded. Arnold's police chief has resigned after being charged with theft, evidence tampering, and obstruction. Josh Stanga allegedly took cash from a stolen vehicle during an undercover operation. Stanga was placed on administrative leave in August of last year. Rob House, who had been the officer in charge, will be named Arnold's new chief at today's council meeting. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 187 points, the Nasdaq up 48, the S&P 500 up 13. KDK Sports, the Pirates open a series in Baltimore tonight. First pitch set for 6:35. Mike Tomlin with the press today said that Deshaun Elliott has an MCL sprain. He'll miss 2 to 3 weeks. And several sources have reported that the Steelers have signed former Browns and Patriots safety Jabril Peppers. Steelers play the home opener Sunday against Seattle. KDK Radio News Time is 3:03. Time to call Highwood Cemetery to ensure your family's grave sites are protected now and in the future. 412-766-6600. Sunny and 75 degrees in Pittsburgh. KDK AAA traffic and AccuWeather together next.
Lunch was great. Lawrenceville is such a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Well, there we go. It's traffic time, Margo. PJ Fitzpatrick, Home Improvement Traffic Center, KDK AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville. What do we got?
All right, Colin. I am getting a report for an accident on the Parkway East inbound right before exit 77 towards Edgewood and Swissvale. All lanes are now open. However, it has backed the route up to Churchill heading into the Squirrel Hill Tunnel. Also getting a report for an accident on Washington Pike and the I-79 ramp in Collier Township. On the other major roadways, seeing some slow-moving traffic on the Parkway East outbound from the bend at Bates heading into the Squirrel Hill Tunnel. And heading into the Fort Pitt Tunnel on the Parkway West inbound, it is brake lights from the Banksville interchange. With AAA traffic, I'm Margo Renzel on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Mostly sunny for the rest of this afternoon. Very pleasant, a high of 75. It'll be mainly clear and cool again tonight, low 49 with some areas of fog late. Mostly sunny tomorrow and a high of 76. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Brian Thompson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The original Yinzer Dogs are here for your next tailgate. Yinzer Dogs, Stanley P. Kachowski Kielbasi, Babushka Mama Pierogies, and Yinzer Halushki are all available at your favorite Giant Eagle and Market District. Plus, stay tuned for our grand opening of our new original Yinzer Dogs location in Cranberry. And pretty soon, down the Strip District. It's pure Pittsburgh. Join Dan Marino, Jimmy Crenn, and me, and our Yinzer team. Check us out at originalyinzerdogs.com.
Reacting to the stories you're talking about. Colin Dunlap, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
All right, 1 hour from now, National Suicide Awareness Month. I have somebody coming on who has an initiative, and he'll be speaking here in Pittsburgh on Thursday, has an initiative that's very, very, very important to him and a lot of people. Did you know that there's a lot of people in the construction industry that struggle with mental health and suicide in the construction industry? It's crazy. And I'm going to talk to my friend Randy Dye, who lives in Florida and is part of an initiative to help people out in all kinds of industries. He'll be speaking here in Pittsburgh on Thursday about suicide awareness, and I want to talk to him coming up at 4 o'clock. 866-391-1020 is that number here. That's 866-391-1020. Listen for The Drive at 5. The stories driving the news every single day at 5. It's brought to you by ServiceMaster Greater Pittsburgh. Demand the yellow van. And at 5, I'll talk to John Samick, who is the owner of ServiceMaster Greater Pittsburgh. A building like today that happened in Squirrel Hill. Now, of course, they're going to tear that one down. The fire chief, Daryl Jones, already said that. But what of these older buildings? And if there's just a smaller fire, can they be rectified? Can they be something where they're salvaged or not. And I want to talk to him about all of that. What happens now as they move in and the fire is put out? But how about this survey? I heard this. I went through some of the wire stories as I do every day getting ready for the show. And this was very interesting. There's a new AP survey out. Listen.
According to a new AP NORC survey, about 43% of U.S. adults favor their removal, while about 25% oppose it. They found a political divide as well. Most Republicans, 64%, were in favor of removing the encampments, while independents and Democrats were more mixed.
You know what that is? Homeless encampments across the country. So 43% of U.S. adults favor the removal of them. 25% oppose it. So think about that. Did you think those numbers were what they are? And let's have a discussion, because it's a very real discussion. So you hear those numbers, and they are along party lines for the most part. 64% were in favor when you talk to Republicans, while independents and Democrats were more mixed. So this really is something that divides us and most likely always will, at least for a long time. When I talk to people who are most in this, and it has nothing to do with party, it has to do with the practical nature of it. And when I say that, it's police and first responders and people like that. When I talk to them, most of them tell me they've got compassion for the people who are living on the streets. But it has dwindled some because of this. There are very few cases, if any, they run across that people on the far left try to categorize as, what's a homeless problem? Well, I just missed a paycheck. Well, stuff didn't come together here. Well, we're one missed paycheck away. People who truly are out there working amongst, with their shoe leather on the ground, police and first responders and people like that, tell me they very rarely, if ever, run across a case like that. They hardly ever encounter people like that. What they do run across, more times than not, almost always, are people with substance abuse and mental health problems, and or both. And when given an opportunity to get off the streets, a shelter, a place like this, place like that, people elect to stay on the streets, the people who are out there, because one fits into the other. In order to go to one of those places, you generally have to be clean, and they don't want to be. So when I hear results like this at 866-391-1020 about homeless encampments, 43% of U.S. adults favor their removal. 25% oppose it. That still leaves a decent chunk that are undecided, I guess. But when you hear that, it hits me when I talk to these people that work out on the streets that we're enabling. We just are. But we're enabling because we lack the resources to some degree now because of the state mental health institutions aren't open. It's not necessarily a case of not having anywhere to put them. It's a case of we need to redirect services and money and funds to make places to put them. We're far past the whole, well, I don't know what we're going to do. It's a sticking point. People aren't going to budge. People like me say 1, 2, maybe 3 strikes, you're out. You should be mandated to mental health care or substance abuse care. I'm tired of the sidewalks and people doing what they do on them and living on them. Other people say, and they'll scream at you, homelessness is not a crime. Acting like somebody was working, had a bunch of money in their bank account, got a couple flat tires, and then all of a sudden didn't have any money and they're out on the street. Very big mischaracterization. Hardly, if ever, happens that way. So we're at an impasse. And you have two very clear kind of teams in this. But the practical reality to meet in the middle is those people are never going to agree. What has to happen is, because the X factor is many people when offered help simply don't want to take it. They'd rather be out on the streets than play by somebody's rules. The X factor is, at this point, we're going to have to force people. And that's what it is. And that's precisely where we are. All urban areas. Some people make way too much of the problem in Pittsburgh. It's not a Pittsburgh problem. It's a national problem. It just is. But it's a problem. And we're at that impasse because both sides aren't going to budge. What has to happen is money needs to be redirected to state-run mental health institutions, and there has to be an agreement from both sides that people who are charged with the duty of keeping the peace are allowed to keep the peace. They're allowed to enforce the rules already on the books. You're not allowed to camp downtown. You're not allowed to. But that's gone out the window. You're not allowed to be somewhere and just set up shop for that long of a time. That's already on the books. It just needs to be able to be enforced by the people who are on Grant Street. And all over different places in this country, by mayors, by people on city councils. But we just think, or people on that side, think that it's just going to right itself, it's just going to go away, or even worse, nobody's really committing a crime, let them be. But you heard that report in that poll right there, that 43% of people want homeless encampments cleaned up. It just can't go on in perpetuity like this. Something has to happen. 866-391-1020. That's 866-391-1020. That story in Charlotte just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. But I seem to think it might be something to finally have a lot of people wake up and say, hey, something's got to give. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Traffic now. PJ Fitzpatrick, Home Improvement Traffic Center, KDKA AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville. Margot.
All right, Colin, I'm getting a report for a vehicle fire on Wexford Bain Road and 79 northbound in Franklin Park Borough. Also on 79, on the 79 ramp and Washington Pike in Collier Township, there is also an accident which is starting to back up that route. On the other major roadways, an earlier accident on the Parkway East is backing up both sides of the Parkway East on the inbound and outbound. On the inbound, it is backing up to Wilkinsburg, and on the outbound, it is slow moving from Technology Drive heading into the Squirrel Hill Tunnel. Heading into the Fort Pitt Tunnel on the Parkway West outbound, it is brake lights from 2nd Avenue, and heading into the Fort Pitt Tunnel on the Parkway West inbound, it is slow moving from the Banksville interchange. With AAA Traffic, I'm Margot Renzel on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Tickets are on sale now for the upcoming season of the Pittsburgh Speaker Series presented by University of Pittsburgh at Heinz Hall with Dr. Anthony Fauci, Malcolm Gladwell, historian Doris Kearns Goodwin, former National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster, National Geographic photographer Christina Mittermeier, former Russian political prisoner Vladimir Kara-Murza, and geopolitical economist Pippa Malmgren. For information and tickets, go to pittsburghspeakers.org, sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey folks, it's Marty. NASCO Roofing, the region's roofing leader. Wow, they're good. They continue to exceed customer expectation. For instance, Charles from Bethel Park highly recommends NASCO. Charles was pleased with NASCO's exemplary customer service and the quality of their work. NASCO has satisfied thousands like Charles. Now's the time to get NASCO on your roof. Call NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. Most jobs done in a day. Special financing available. NASCO, NASCO.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Summer storms can spell disaster for your roof and more. At Home Genius Exteriors, we stop the damage before it starts. Call now during our summer savings event and get 50% off materials for your new roof. Plus, get no interest and no payments till 2027. Call Home Genius Exteriors at 855-UR-GENIUS to schedule your free roof and attic inspection. That's 855, the letter U, the letter R, Genius. Home Genius Exteriors, the genius choice in roofing. See website for details.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
A trial is 99% preparation, and nobody prepares better than us. Get the good guys, Goodrich and Geist.
Your drive just got easier. It's Colin Dunlap on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, here we go. So, terrible fire in Squirrel Hill today. Forward in Murray, not too far from where the old Pole Eyes was. Kind of on that crazy five-way intersection. Now, this was just past 10 o'clock or so, or just before 10 o'clock, I guess. A lot of the reports started coming in. So I was on my way in. Then I heard Tamira Rush being dispatched. Now, Tamira Rush has the reporter game locked down. And I'll tell you exactly when I knew this. And this is a veteran move. Just a veteran move, not just for reporters. Tamira was on the Parkway and got behind a police car that had its lights on and tailgated it real tight because you knew it was going to serve kind of like as a lead blocker in a football game.
Absolutely. It's like he was my fullback. I was the running back. You got that? So I saw him coming, the lights start going. I was like, I'm ready. So I seen him come on the side of on the side. I dipped on the side and I was like, we're going. I mean, hey, what else is left for me to do at this particular time? Because traffic then started to back up.
You got from the Oakland exit, you got from the jail to Squirrel Hill in about 3.5 minutes when everybody else was a parking lot. I was listening to this. So great veteran move by you. Don't got to tell you twice. Get behind that police car
I know.
and go.
I'm like, I'm hoping. No, listen, Colin. I'm sitting there. I'm doing this right. I'm like, please, God, don't let anyone take video of me doing this because then I'll have to explain to management what I was doing.
Well,
so it worked out right. It worked out fine.
You
so I'm
admitted
good.
it on the air. I think maybe the police, though, could see because it was the KDKA car that, well, we're on the same team. We help you out. I help you out.
Exactly.
All that kind of stuff. So you got there.
It
was still a raging inferno.
It was.
When you pulled up to, again, that crazy sort of five-way intersection right around there where the end of the the Squirrel Hill Tunnel is. Tell me what you saw right when you got there.
Well, initially I wasn't able to get from the Parkway up to the Squirrel Hill, take the Squirrel Hill exit. So I had to go up a little bit, make the left up the hill and come down. So I parked on Murray Avenue, but there's a chiropractic center there. So I stood behind the front of the building and watched it burning from the backside, took video so people can actually see what was happening. The fire office, Oh, goodness.
Fire
I'm sorry,
department.
the fire department. Excuse me. The fire department, initially at the time, they weren't even outside, involved in what was happening. They had the ladders with the hoses outside coming from the ladder. So they initially just had that going for a very long time, because at that particular time they were, concerned about the safety of the building collapsing. So Daryl Jones made a decision to not allow the firefighters to go inside the building, but it was raging. It was overwhelming to me standing there. It was like it overtook me. It was a dark cloud, blazing fire that was just in front of me, and it was unremarkable to watch something like that happen in real time.
I saw Ross Godotti, he put on social media that he had his inhaler because he could taste everything, and he had to make sure he could breathe. Could you taste the smoke and feel the smoke?
You can taste it. You can feel it. It just overwhelmed you. There were people who were immediately seeking and asking the Red Cross to provide masks because it was overwhelming to be in that space. It was the first time in my life as a reporter to actually witness something like this. I mean, Colin, you see displaced residents that were just outside crying. One resident I spoke with, her cat was named Jelly. She could not find her cat. No, that was another resident that found. Did? Yeah, I uploaded a video of a guy who lost his cat as well. So we ran immediately when he captured his cat. He said that the cat was the cat was nervous. So he basically was walking around. He kept walking around, but we didn't know at the time what he was doing. He had the little cage for the cat, but there was no cat inside. But he ended up finding the cat. So I mean, that was, out of all of what was happening, you have some stories that didn't come out the way that we would like with Jelly, but then the other resident found his cat. It was a remarkable day.
Could you tell the structural integrity of the building was starting to not be safe?
Oh, absolutely. You can hear the hoses going against the windows crashing. It was like crumbling. You can hear the top of the building crumbling once the fire continued to rage. It was just like coming down. You just watched it collapse, and you knew at that particular time that, hey, this building is done for. There's nothing that you can do to salvage a building like that. But the concerns inside for residents, I was asking questions. Did you hear? How did you know? Were there smoke detectors going off? Some residents said that there were smoke detectors inside that building, and that was one of the things that was alarming. And they were able to make way to get out of the building. They gave kudos to the fire department. They said that they were inside that building, running through halls, floor to floor, grabbing people, getting people, assisting wheelchair-bound residents from that home. It is unbelievable. It was unbelievable to watch.
I've been on a couple of those scenes as a reporter myself, and one thing that sticks out with me are the bells, the kind of the whistles that are on the firemen themselves that you hear, but then also the yelling and the communication between them and the hum of all the engines that you hear, just the din of all the engines. It is like a military operation.
Absolutely.
Would you agree?
Absolutely. And you could tell that they were in sync with one another. It wasn't like you got to the scene and people were just standing around. People were in position. They knew where they were supposed to be. They had firefighters in the back of the building. They had firefighters in front of the building. You had people there who, if you had a question, they made sure that they were media savvy. Kara Cruz was on it big time. She let us know exactly what was happening before we even had a conversation with Fire Chief Daryl Jones. I mean, she was the best at that time to have something like that going on.
When you got off the exit and you finally got close, were you prepared to report, or did you think that someone more than likely would have died?
Oh, absolutely. I did not. Looking at it, I did not think. I said to myself, I said, this is not going to be good. This is absolutely not going to be good. So I immediately tracked down Kara Cruz. Immediately. She was the first person. That's the first person who could give me the answers, right? So I tracked her down to make sure, because at that particular time, to hear something like that happen, if that were the case, you have to transition from a reporter to, hey, I have to feel what's happening here. You know what I mean? So you can't just go in the same way as you would, like everybody got out safe. But I had known that as I was driving in, I was listening, and I said, oh, okay, everything at this particular time seems good. So I knew what I was going into. But once I was on the parkway and I looked in the sky and I saw billows of dark smoke, I said, this cannot be a good thing. But fortunately, I mean, when you say God exists, to watch something like that happen today, Colin, this is something that I will never, ever, ever forget.
All right, Tamara Rush, great job. Great job getting there. Great job reporting. We delivered everything. We continue to do that throughout the day. News right now, KDK.
As an athlete, I'm all about performance and my overall health. I've wanted to improve my smile for a while, but I thought braces was the only option. A friend of mine mentioned she was improving her smile with Invisalign, so I checked out with my local orthodontist and found out that Invisalign could work for me as well. After a quick scan, my orthodontist created my Invisalign plan, and I couldn't be more excited to start. Check out Invisalign.com to find a doctor in your neighborhood. It's great that there are trained Invisalign doctors in our own community here. Invisalign.com.
Hey folks, it's Marty. Voss TV and Appliance has a huge selection of big brand names and prices you'll love. Third generation family business. Rick, Matt, the entire Voss team provides meaningful service that actually serves. They answer phones, show up on time, and truly care about their customers. It's old school service that matters, and you won't find it anywhere else. Visit Voss's South Hills showroom today. 412-650-VOSS, 412-650-VOSS. Love them. The lowest prices guaranteed.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Sunny and 75 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 3:30. I'm Paul Alexander. A massive fire ripped through an apartment building Tuesday morning in Squirrel Hill, displacing several residents. News Radio KDK's Tamara Rush has the details.
The fire that raged for hours at the Jefferson apartment building in Pittsburgh's Squirrel Hill neighborhood has finally been brought under control. One wheelchair-bound resident who needed the assistance of several firefighters tells KDKA Radio her cat Jelly is unaccounted for.
The material stuff you can replace with my little kitty. She's only 7 pounds. She has me scared to death. You can replace the material things, but not the people.
The fire started on the 3rd floor of the building and continued to burn through the roof, causing it to collapse. All residents were accounted for and no injuries were reported. The Salvation Army and Red Cross are assisting displaced residents. Tamara Rush, News Radio KDKA.
Pittsburgh police and the FBI are investigating a series of letters sent to local synagogues. Pittsburgh police say the letters contain what they characterize as vague threats against the local Jewish community. The Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh issued a statement calling the letters deeply disturbing. The Federation says it's in close contact with law enforcement as the investigation into the threats continues, and that is the security team is working to ensure that all Jewish institutions remain protected. Pittsburgh police say a missing man has been found dead. 42-year-old Stephen Williams was last seen leaving the downtown Wyndham Friday night and seen on Strawberry Way shortly after midnight that night. Police say the cause and manner of death will be determined by the Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office. Plans have been unveiled for an expansion at the intermediate school in the building of the Seneca Valley School District. John Pappas of Eccles Construction Services says the $165 million project, to be done in phases, would connect a portion of its current academic area to the neighboring senior high school through a new 3-story addition.
That'll be done as kind of the first phase of the project. Then a portion of the classroom area of the existing intermediate high school will be raised and allow for a new performing arts center to be included, which will also connect back into the existing high school.
Pappas says the project will go out to bid in the next month or so. Work could start on phase 1 by next February or March, with the final project to be completed by the summer of 2030. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 180 points, the Nasdaq up 64, the S&P 500 is up 15. KDK Radio News Time, 3:32. Our next update at 4. I'm Paul Alexander on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Colin Dunlap here to tell you, if you're injured, you make one call. Shenderovich and Fishman, they handle all types of injury cases. Their fee is 25%, not 40% like so many other firms. They're smart, they're aggressive, they're experienced, and they've got a 99.7% success rate. They win 25% on everything. Car accidents, motorcycle wrecks, tractor-trailer crashes, dog bites, all of it. 1-888-98-TWINS. That's 1-888-98-TWINS. Shenderovich and Fishman. They got your back, not your wallet.
Have you been to Piata Italian Street Food, Pittsburgh's new favorite fast casual restaurant? Come try a hand-rolled piata, fresh chopped salad, or tossed pasta like their carbonara. A comforting bowl of creamy Parmesan Alfredo, tomatoes, crisp pancetta, fresh spinach, and Parmesan. With 4 Pittsburgh locations in Oakland, Northway, South Hills, and North Fayette, there's a Piata near you. Piata Italian Street Food. Better food fast.
All right, Margot has it locked down. Hey, Margot, I was so out of it yesterday, I called you Margaret at one point.
I don't mind.
Me either. PJ Fitzpatrick, Home Improvement Traffic Center, KDKA AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville. What's up?
All right, Colin, I'm getting a report for an accident on Sample Road and High Meadow Road in McCandless. On the other major roadways, still seeing some major congestion on the Parkway East on both the inbound and outbound sides. On the inbound, it is backed up to Edgewood heading into the Squirrel Hill Tunnel. And heading into the Squirrel Hill Tunnel on the Parkway East outbound, it is bumper to bumper from Technology Drive. The Parkway West outbound is brake lights also from Technology Drive heading into the Fort Pitt Tunnel. And 28 inbound is seeing some slow-moving traffic from the 40th Street Bridge going into the city. With AAA traffic, I'm Margot Renzel on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It's going to remain very pleasant through the rest of this afternoon with sunshine, a high of 75. Mainly clear tonight, low 49. There will be areas of fog late tonight into early tomorrow. Otherwise, mostly sunny tomorrow, high 76. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Brian Thompson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
One of the most iconic albums in history, Pet Sound, recreated like never before. Don't miss the ultimate tribute to Beach Boys, featuring the band Pet Sounds live at Jurgles on September 26th. Hear hits like Wouldn't It Be Nice, God Only Knows, and more. Pet Sounds live, September 26th at Jurgles. Get advance tickets now at jurgles.com. Another Drusky Entertainment event.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us Wednesday on the Big K Morning Show, 5:30 until 10 in our 7 o'clock hour, our weekly visit with Rich Fitzgerald, a preview of another Artificial Intelligence Summit.
AI, 866-391-1020 is that number. Top of the next hour. Friend of mine, Randy Dye. He lives in Florida. Great guy. Car dealer. And he is involved in an initiative to stop suicide, race to stop suicide. His son is a NASCAR driver named Daniel, and our family are friends. And he's coming to Pittsburgh on Thursday. He's involved in a symposium at the Aviary, and it is about suicide prevention. He has a story very near and dear to his family. in this realm, but a symposium about is centered around Suicide Prevention Month. And he's going to be one of the speakers, and he's going to fill you in on this initiative and just how prevalent all of this is. And we'll talk to Randy Dye coming up at 4:05. 866-391-1020 is that number. That's 866-391-1020. So this story's still developing, and I'll tell you, every piece of video that's out there, especially now that there's video that's out there that is after the horrific crime was committed, every piece of video seemingly just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and harder to watch and more difficult to find an answer for. But then again, some will say the answer is very easy and that you need to be tougher.
23-year-old Irina Zarutska had just boarded the city's light rail when a man sitting behind her stabbed her in the throat. President Trump saw the surveillance video.
Not really watchable because it's so horrible.
Trump claims Zarutska's blood is on the hands of North Carolina Democrats who refuse to put bad people in jail. The alleged attacker, DeCarlos Brown, had been charged with several crimes recently and was ordered to undergo a mental evaluation, but it's not clear if he ever did. Charlotte's Democratic mayor calls the case a tragic failure by the courts and magistrates. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Okay, so just a few minutes ago on social media, the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, said Irina Zarutska was a young woman living in the American dream. Her horrific murder is a direct result of failed soft-on-crime policies that put criminals before innocent people. I have directed my attorneys to federally prosecute DeCarlos Brown Jr., a repeat offender, a repeat violent offender with a history of violent crime for murder. We will seek the maximum penalty for this unforgivable crime, and he will never again see the light of day as a free man. So that offers no consolation to Zarutska's family, who Zarutska is such a complex case in that she left the country because it was war-torn, and she came to an American urban area and ended up meeting her demise through violence. But it may have been safer to stay where she was as a war was going on. It's just the ultimate irony. But at 866-391-1020, that's 866-391-1020, I never tell you who to vote for. I just tell you, well, I don't even tell you who I vote for. That's a big thing. But I just tell you what's important to me. When you go through and you have an election for judges, all the way down to magistrates here in Allegheny County, because they handle night court cases, do you see why it's so important to read, to do your homework? I don't blame the judges here. You know why? I blame the people who are voting. The judges, many times, if not all the time, they tell you exactly what they're all about. I tell you this all the time. Now, ultimately, I do blame them because they are soft on crime, but initially I don't. I blame the voter. Every single judge that you don't like, that I don't like, that anybody with any sense doesn't like, has told you on Ballotpedia or in some sort of literature before they were elected, they have told you exactly what they're about. And many people, I think, are either just too lazy or too flippant, or they don't have the amount of time, or whatever it is. They just don't take the time to research. And then what happens is one of these people get in. Happened here, Lawrenceville, Xander Orenstein. One of these people, multiple people, get in. And then you act surprised when something like this happens. This isn't a referendum on judges as much as it's a referendum on people needing to do their homework before they go to the ballot box, especially on down ballot races. We spend such a big amount of time trying to figure out all we can on who runs for president, on sometimes even who's running for governor. But many times, the races that actually impact us most are things like magisterial judge, are things like county executive. And it doesn't seem like we take the time, or it's an inordinate amount of time compared to the other races, to look at what those candidates are truly about, and they don't hide it. They tell you exactly what they're about. And we just, for some reason, don't do the reconnaissance. Lou's in Greensburg. Hi, Lou.
Hey, Colin, what's going on?
Not much. How are you?
All right, so I kind of want to disagree with you here. I think they know exactly what they're voting for. I think that the Democrats that vote these judges and magistrates in, I think they do it to spite law enforcement. I think they do it to throw it in the face of law and order.
Let me give you rationale and reasoning as to why I disagree. Especially in a place like Western Pennsylvania. The average age of the Democratic voter in Western Pennsylvania is about 114. So, many people see that D behind somebody's name in the primary. And they go, oh, okay. Well, I'm a Democrat. There we go. I'm voting. And a lot of times there's just one that's running. So, this person's going to make it through. Then they get to the vote, the proper vote. And they say, well, I'm a Democrat. My husband, back in the day, was a steel worker. He passed away in 1991. I'm a widow. 89 years old or 112 or whatever. No way I can vote Republican. But what they don't understand is that D behind their name is not the same D as it was in 1994. It's a much different progressive D. It's somebody whose party is to that candidate much different than that old lady who lives in Lawrenceville. And that's where we are. They don't see what the candidate is. They see a letter behind their name.
Yeah, and I was going to kind of agree with you there. I think that obviously the Democratic Party of today is much different from the Democratic Party of those times. And like I said there, or like I was going to say, and like you said, the progressives of today have completely hijacked the Democrat Party, and they spit in the face of law and order. They don't want law and order. They want chaos in the inner cities. They want to feel bad for these people. They want them out on the street. There's no, it flies in the face of law and order and what the Democratic Party used to be, which is why I used to be a Democrat and no longer am. It's complete chaos in inner cities, and it's because of liberal voting policies.
Well, I would agree with you there. It's more in, just like you said at the end, the voting policies. If somebody is going to pay you that much to do that job and vote you in, you're not going to say, no thanks. That's why a lot of times it's just as much, if not more, on the voter than it is on the actual judge. And this is where we are. We've got a dead woman who came to this country, who thought that this was a safe haven, and she ends up dead at the front door of a city bus, a city train in Charlotte because of it. And now we're made to act sort of surprised when we probably shouldn't be. 866-391-1020. That's 866-391-1020. I'm here to tell you we made a great trade it's in like the Brittany Griner trade or anything like that. Whenever she was held hostage, whenever she was a prisoner of war, whatever it was, this might be a better trade. We made a trade today as a country that, man alive, I think we got the upper end of the deal. I mean, this is like Neil Huntington or David Littlefield or Ben Charrington getting absolutely fleeced. And I think overseas got fleeced today. I'll explain in just a little bit. Traffic now. Here we go. PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center. KDKA AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville. Margo.
All right, Colin, taking a look at the major roadways, seeing some congestion on the Parkway East outbound from Technology Drive going into the Squirrel Hill Tunnel. Heading into the Squirrel Hill Tunnel on the Parkway East inbound, it is brake lights from Wilkinsburg. Heading into the Fort Pitt Tunnel on the Parkway West outbound, it is bumper to bumper from 2nd Avenue. And 28 inbound is seeing some slow-moving traffic from the 40th Street Bridge heading into the city. With AAA traffic, I'm Margo Rensel on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Listen to Colin Dunlap on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Over 65 and still on your employer's health insurance? Not sure what's best for you to do? Dina Schmidt and her team of professionals from One Health Benefits provide excellent advice on the best options for your needs. One Health Benefits has been providing people with customized health benefit choices for over 2 decades. You only know what you know, so let Dina and the One Health Benefits experts help you with what they know. Call One Health Benefits today, 724-799-8873. Learn more at onehealthbenefits.com.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself, shaped into a force that others can't imagine? We are part of something bigger, a force that never quits. You can transform your life. Check us out at Navy.com. America's Navy, forged by the sea.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
It's Marty Griffin. I have seen so much angst and anger these days that, you know what's overwhelmed me with joy and optimism? This Get Marty. The folks in this community that have stepped up. You can't help your neighbor if you hate your neighbor. Get Marty epitomizes that opportunity to help people, feed people, clothe people, educate people. If you need me, get Marty at KDKRadio.com.
Get Marty is presented by Phil DeLuceni and Associates, Levin Furniture, UPMC Health System, CNS Construction, John Keefe Restaurant Group of Oakmont, and by Robert Pierce and Associates.
Hey folks, it's Marty. CCAC is the best. Whether you want to study robotics, cybersecurity, aviation, culinary arts, business management, or multimedia web programming, CCAC has it all. Folks, it's the real deal with expert instructors, industry-grade equipment, high-tech learning spaces, so much more. Want a big future with little debt? Register for fall classes right now. ccac.edu. Folks, I know friends who love it. ccac.edu.
You've heard the news. Now, talk about it with Colin Dunlap on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, big news. Ed Sheeran is moving to the United States, he says. And he admitted, he said, not a lot of people are moving to the United States. But I am. I'm moving to the United States. Now, that is a steal in the trade landscape. Ed Sheeran, the player to be named later in the trade that sent both Rosie O'Donnell and Ellen DeGeneres overseas. America wins in a landslide here. You could have both of those two old bags and send them overseas and give me Ed Sheeran. Whenever they handicap this trade, it's like an A+++++ for America. Fantastic. And I'm not even a huge Ed Sheeran fan, but he's the return player to be named later from sending both Rosie and Ellen DeGeneres over there. Good. Perfect. I also read a story today, and this one is incredible. And tell me how you feel about this at 866-391-1020. Now, the latest self-victimization, this one is hilarious. There are people, and there are also people trying to intercede here and interject. There are people who are mad that ICE is targeting Home Depots, especially in Southern California and in some other places in the Southwest, to find people who are in this country illegally because they have been known as day laborer gathering spots, and especially early in the morning. Okay, so that's where the story, those are all the facts there. So there are outreach groups, there are people who are involved in different groups, and there are people who are upset that Home Depots, because they are gathering spots for day laborers, and many times the day laborers are undocumented, they gather at Home Depot. So ICE has said, well, that's where we're going to gather because that's where they are. And now they've been met with resistance from different community groups, from different, especially crazy suburban white women that are mad about this, but would call the police if those same workers walked up their street and weren't working. Okay? Follow me here. So if you're an undercover or even uniformed police officer, shouldn't you go to the seedy street corner if you want to eradicate drugs? You wouldn't necessarily go to the middle of nowhere or somewhere where no one is or a really clean kind of place. You'd go where you had intelligence that the people who had the stuff you were looking for, well, they were gathered. And that would generally be some sort of seedy street corner or somewhere like that. So if ICE is using the intelligence that they'd gathered, or even the intelligence that a guy like me could give them, that this is where people who are in this country illegally are gathered, and they go there, they are going to throw their hook in a pond that has a whole lot of fish, as opposed to throwing their hook in a pond where there's like 2 fish. Aren't they doing you a favor by maximizing their effort, minimizing their time, helping out on the money that you're paying them, and making it a much more streamlined experience to get people off the street rather than chasing them all around? What do you have to complain about? We are offended by everything now in this country. They are going to a place where people are known to be who are in this country illegally. Do you want them to go where there are no people who are known to be illegal and think that they're ever going to come up with any arrest? They're there to get people off the streets, and they're there to bring people to justice, and they're there to make sure that those people are brought to justice. I heard this story, and I read this story actually in the newspaper this morning, online, several online. Many places had the same AP story kind of redone again and again and again. And I came away from it 4 or 5 times and went, why would anybody be offended by this? These guys are just working smarter, not harder. 866-391-1020, top of the hour. Suicide Awareness Prevention Month. And I'm here to tell you that there is a lot of things going on in the construction industry and many industries. A friend of mine is coming into town to talk at a big symposium on Thursday, and he is really in this world and a very respected person in this. And I'm going to talk to Randy Dye, who is going to be in town on Thursday to speak on this to a really big audience, and he has a personal story to tell you. That's coming up top of the hour right here, KDK.
The KDKA Mobile News Fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington and Wexford. JimShorkeyKia.com.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
The biggest reason Metropolitan Window Company has been in business since 1978 is our huge list of satisfied customers.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're getting expertise and attention to detail from a trusted business that puts your needs first.
You're also getting our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows that are built for life.
The most important part of a window is the framing. Fiberglass frames won't lose their dimensional integrity. They're the strongest, longest-lasting window you can buy.
And right now, you can save 30% and get 18-month no-interest financing on every window and door product we offer.
Stop by one of our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
Pittsburgh has many best, and Pittsburgh's Best Deli is food for thought. It's fresh, authentic, and delicious. For the best fixings for any tailgate, it has to be food for thought. They make their own corned beef. It's by far the best in town. Have it today as a sandwich or order Food for Thought's mouth-watering corned beef Reuben, rated one of Pittsburgh's best. Visit Bob the Deli King, Food for Thought, North Craig Street. Hands down, Pittsburgh's best deli. It's worth the trip.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Sunny and 75 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 4 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander. A massive fire destroys an apartment building in Squirrel Hill. News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush has the details.
A large 4-alarm fire in Squirrel Hill is mostly under control after crews battled flames for 6 straight hours. Pittsburgh Bureau of Fire Chief Daryl Jones tells KDKA Radio while the fire is largely under control, his crews will be on the scene for the foreseeable future, putting out several hotspots.
We're going to send lead crews here to monitor this in case it flares up again, which it probably will. And I put into PLI, that's our Department of Permits, Licensing, and Inspection, for an emergency demolition on this building.
The initial call came in at 8:25 a.m. Tuesday morning, with first crews arriving at 8:30. Crews found flames on the 3rd floor and immediately evacuated the building. Everyone escaped the building safely and no injuries were reported. Jones says an investigation is underway. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
Pittsburgh police and the FBI are investigating after several local synagogues have received threatening letters. We have more from News Radio KDK's David Ballarado.
Pittsburgh police say they're working with the FBI after a number of local synagogues received letters that contained vague threats against the Pittsburgh Jewish community. The Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh says while the letters are deeply disturbing, they want to assure the Jewish community that safety and security remain their top priority. Echoing that, a statement from Alan Hausman, the president of Tree of Life Synagogue, who said safety and security are their top priorities as they gear up to celebrate the upcoming Jewish holidays. The Federation says it continues to monitor the situation closely and is working to ensure that all Jewish institutions remain protected. David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
Pittsburgh police say a missing man has been found dead. 42-year-old Stephen Williams was last seen leaving the downtown Wyndham Friday night and seen on Strawberry Way shortly after midnight that night. Police say the cause and manner of death will be determined by the Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office. Arnold's police chief has resigned after being charged with theft, evidence tampering, and obstruction. Josh Stanga allegedly took cash from a stolen vehicle during an undercover operation. Stanga was placed on administrative leave in August of last year. Rob House, who's been the officer in charge, will be named Arnold's new chief of police at today's council meeting. It will be a while before we see rainfall. since August 1st. Just under 2 inches of rain has fallen. And Andrew Kenzel of the National Weather Service says Pittsburgh's area is now just a quarter inch above normal rainfall for the entire year.
A little bit of a surplus, but we're seeing that drought come back. It's starting to feel almost like last year a little bit, where we had a really, really wet spring, and then we had a pretty bad drought there as we stretched dry months into the fall.
Andrew said a pattern of high pressure will keep things dry for at least the next week. On Wall Street, the Dow closed up 196 points, the Nasdaq up 80, the S&P 500 up 17. KDK Sports' Mike Tomlin announced today that Deshaun Elliott was sidelined by an MCL sprain, will miss at least 2 to 3 weeks. Also, he said they will have signed Browns and Patriot safety Jabril Peppers by the end of the day to stay the fort while the injury to Elliott, it takes time to recover. Steelers play their home opener on Sunday against Seattle. Pirates open a series in Baltimore tonight. First pitch is set for 6:35. KDK Radio News Time 4:03. Time to call Carlos at Greater Pitt Tree Service. If you're concerned about your trees, call 412-884-TREE. Right now it's sunny and 75 degrees in Pittsburgh. KDK AAA traffic and AccuWeather together next.
Lunch was great. Lawrenceville is such a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
When it comes to building Pennsylvania's future, the laborers are on the job. From highways and bridges to schools, hospitals, energy projects, the men and women of the Pennsylvania Laborers District Council deliver the skilled work that keeps our communities moving forward. Joe LaQuatra is leading the charge to train the next generation, protect worker safety, and stand up for fair wages and benefits. When laborers build, Pennsylvania grows stronger. The Pennsylvania Laborers District Council, working hard every day. My people.
All right, let's hit traffic real quick. PJ Fitzpatrick, Home Improvement Traffic Center. KDK AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser, Genesis of Monroeville. Margot.
All right, Colin, I'm getting a report for an accident on the Parkway North outbound in Franklin Park Borough. On the other major roadways, still seeing some heavy congestion on both sides of the Parkway East. On the outbound, it is bumper to bumper from Technology Drive. On the Parkway West outbound, it is slow moving also from Technology Drive. With AAA Traffic, I'm Margot Renzel on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
With a mostly sunny sky the rest of this afternoon, we'll see a high around 75. Mainly clear tonight with a low of 49. Some areas of fog late tonight into early tomorrow, and a lot of sunshine again. High tomorrow, 76. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Brian Thompson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's a match made in heaven. Your drive home and Colin Dunlap. Only on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, symposium, gathering, workshop, however you want to phrase it, a big in town on Thursday. Construction Financial Management Association, the Greater Pittsburgh chapter, and there's going to be CEOs, CFOs, human resource professionals, safety risk managers, all kinds of people. One of the themes, building a stronger foundation under the hard hat. And it falls in lockstep with suicide prevention and mental health awareness in the construction industry, because that is a big topic this month, is suicide prevention and awareness. Let me welcome in somebody who will be speaking at that, and that's the Aviary on Thursday, and that's Randy Dye. Hi, Randy. How are you?
Good, Colin. Good to be with you. Thanks.
Certainly. So I think a lot of people are wondering, okay, I didn't know the statistics and I didn't understand the construction industry had that much of a mental health problem, or people who do commit suicide that work in that field. Is it because it's high stress? Is it because of the hours that are worked and how arduous it is? Is it all of that, I guess?
I think it's all of that. I remember the first time that I looked at the statistics in that industry, and I thought somebody had made a math error because it just was so high. We learned about this, and I think what you see a lot of times, so these are big jobs. These are jobs that people have all around the country, and what happens is they go and they take the job, and then they kind of work themselves out of a job. They complete the project, and then they're looking for another job, and so and a lot of times they're out of town, away from their families, and so they get lonely, and things happen, and it's just a very, very tough, high stress, and I think not so much in trying to get the job done, but the emotional stress of being away from, what you value. And so I've learned a lot about their industry. We just did a conference in Orlando in February. There were over 1,500 people there, and these are some of the toughest people that you'll ever meet. But they struggle. And what I've found is the more you can get them to open up, the better chances we have of helping them through their difficult time.
Randy Dye, one of presenters coming up on Thursday at this big construction conference. He's also part of the Race to Stop Suicide NASCAR team. His son, Daniel, drives that number 10 car in the Xfinity Series. Randy, in looking at this, and some people do know your backstory, especially here in Western Pennsylvania, but for the people who don't, why has suicide prevention and awareness become so important to you?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that I'm probably like a lot of people, and I would consider myself, initially at least, part of the problem and not part of the solution. I dealt with it differently, probably didn't pay that much of attention, was able to put it in a box, and just put it on the shelf. But Daniel, when he was 14 years old, when we were presented with this opportunity, which I said no to, by the way. I didn't know how to talk about this with a 14-year-old, didn't want to talk about it with him, and just wasn't something for me. But I went home and I told him, because he pestered me, honestly, and he said to me, the first words were, "You don't understand," which really wasn't a good start. But he was right. I didn't understand. And at that time, he had already had an experience with two of his friends who had talked about and were on the threshold of taking their own lives. And so he had, they got help and things turned out just fine. But the one that finally put it over the edge for me was he looked at me and he said, no one ever cares until it happens. Then, I'm guilty as charged, right? That was totally me. So we started to try to figure it out. And we thought it would be something, honestly, that would be just in our local community. Maybe it's a tri-county area. And it's turned out to be all over the country, Canada, Mexico City. This year we ran that same paint scheme in Mexico City because it was an opportunity to do an international exposure to the effort. And it's a lot of work. It's crushing, honestly, to hear the stories and to deal with it. But what we're trying to do is equip people to get ready and how to deal with it. And then finally, the last thing I will say to you about this, our effort is we also work on recovery for those people that are left behind, meaning how do they deal with this? I talked to a lady this week, and she was blaming herself. And I'm sorry, it was the end of last week. And there's nothing she could have really done because she wasn't really equipped for it. But those are the kinds of things that we deal with. I got a letter from a grandfather that his 13-year-old grandson, if you can imagine what that has to feel like. So we help people who are dealing with the loss as well. So that's a real brief version of how we got started.
Well, certainly. And when you talk to, like, when you go to a convention like you're going to on Thursday here at the National Aviary with these leaders in the construction industry, does it start a lot of times from an employment standpoint with the people up top who don't necessarily know how to how to get these messages across to the companies that they maybe own or are in charge of?
I think it's some of the same thing, Colin, that I experienced. My generation is a generation that when you had a bad day or you're having a mental health issue, we learned our prescription was suck it up. That's not really an effective plan for the generations that we have today. So I think there are some people who still have that mentality that I don't think it's deliberate, meaning that they ignore it, they don't believe it. They don't know how. I will applaud the construction industry. This is not the first. This will be the fourth, I believe, event that we've done various locations around the country in that industry. They are really making an effort. The Ironworkers Union was the group here in Florida in February. Those are some tough people who have very tough mindsets, who are, very independent. But they figured it out. They got it. And so I think in our society, you will agree. Pittsburgh's one of those tough towns, right? And I'm not too far. I was raised not too far from there. So we always deal with this, don't be weak, be strong. Well, not looking for help is really part of being weak. And we need to be strong and say, hey, yeah, man, I can use some help. You don't build a building by yourself.
Well, right? One of the positives, Randy, as we talked to Randy Dye, who's coming into town to speak on this suicide prevention and mental health awareness in the construction industry symposium that's happening on Thursday, is one of the better efforts that's happened as a result of this, or people that are your son's age, around 21 or so, or that generation, they've become more accustomed to being open to talking about things like this.
Yeah, I think, and what you've got to do is get people to interact with one another. Well, they are definitely more open. The part of the issue is, though, they're talking to people online and not so much people in person. And that's, in my view, some of what's been lost, is that we've got to connect person to person. And that's very important. Very important to be able to. Daniel talks all the time about this. He says, listen, you've got 5 to 10 minutes to reach out and talk to somebody. I don't care how busy you are, whether you're CEO of a company or you're retired. You have time to reach out and talk to somebody. And that the NASCAR community, by the way, this past weekend, we passed out 988 Race to Stop Suicide little rubber bracelets, and it was an incredible success. And the number of people who took the bracelet but actually started to talk about their feelings and their concerns, and who they've lost and what happened and how they're dealing with it. And so that's a big part of this. There's over 50,000 people in the United States every year that take their own lives, and that does not count people who do it with drugs unless they've left a note. So we all know it's an underreported cause of death, but we also believe we can change it.
Fantastic stuff. Big day on Thursday. Randy will be in town along with some other people in this to help this initiative. Randy, I thank you. I appreciate it, and we'll catch up again soon.
Thank you very much for letting me be on with you.
Absolutely. Randy Dye. I'll put all the information from this event online, and it's a big, big, big event happening at the Aviary on Thursday. Let's hit traffic right now. All right, Margo, you ready?
Yep.
PJ Fitzpatrick, Home Improvement Traffic Center, KDKA AAA Traffic. It's all powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville. Let's go.
All right, Colin, getting a report for an accident on the Parkway West outbound right before the Fort Pitt Tunnel. And that is backing up the route all the way to Technology Drive when heading into the Fort Pitt Tunnel. Heading into the Squirrel Hill Tunnel on the Parkway East outbound, it is brake lights also from Technology Drive. And the Parkway West inbound is slow moving from the middle of Green Tree Hill heading into the Fort Pitt Tunnel. 28 outbound is slow moving from the Sarah Hines house heading up towards the 40th Street Bridge. With AAA traffic, I'm Margot Rental on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
At PJ Fitzpatrick, you don't have to pick between affordability and quality. You can get American-made windows that are beautiful, affordable, and energy efficient. PJ Fitzpatrick has a variety of financing packages that work with any budget. Plus, they provide peace of mind with a lifetime guarantee on materials and labor for your new windows. You can have it all. Visit trustpj.com for a free design consultation. That's trustpj.com.
Be part of the growing family that is Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. It's Dan Zangrilli. I'm a member, and so are nearly 25,000 Western Pennsylvanians. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is up to 7 convenient locations in our region. Remember, if you live, work, or worship in Allegheny, Beaver, or Butler counties, you're eligible to join Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union for just $5, and you'll enjoy the many perks of a credit union. So learn more at AllegiantFCU.org, federally insured by the NCUA.
Make 380 Auction to Murraysville your next stop for discounts and bargains. Trucks come in every week. 380 Auction has name brand furniture, fall moms, also tools, birdseed, automotive supplies, pet supplies, lawn and garden, toys, food, and new items arriving daily. 380 Auction is open Tuesday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or call 724-339-3132. That's 724-339-3132 or log on to shop380.com and save.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our firm handles hundreds of crash cases involving semi-trucks every year. A crash case involving semis is much different, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can leave lots of money on the table. Many times there is separate insurance for the cab and for the trailer. Sometimes there are actually layers of other insurances and excess insurance that some lawyers may not know about because they don't see that many cases. We see these cases every day. Also, there are federal laws governing the hours a driver may drive in a 24-hour period and logs that are required. A crash case involving a semi-truck is a totally different animal than a simple car crash. We have lawyers who only handle these cases. It's all they do. Rolling the dice with the wrong law firm can be disastrous. Call us on your cell phone at Pound Law, pound 529. It's so easy. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The U.S. job market a lot weaker in 2024 than originally reported. Employers added 911,000 fewer jobs than what the Labor Department released over the year leading up to this past March. That is sparking worries about the health of the U.S. economy. But it's also boosting expectations that the Fed will cut interest rates when it meets next week, pushing all the major averages on Wall Street about 1/3% higher to fresh record-closing highs. The Dow today up 196, the NASDAQ up 81, the S&P added 17. Shares of Apple, though, down 1.5%. Investors underwhelmed by the unveiling of the iPhone 17 and the iPhone Air, its thinnest smartphone yet. There was hardly any mention of Apple Intelligence, its AI technology, in those new devices. And the governors of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts now considering allowing natural gas pipelines in their states in hopes of convincing President Trump to allow billions of dollars worth of offshore wind farms to move forward. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
If you're thinking it, he's saying it. Colin Dunlap on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, here we go. Margot, question for you. So, would you accept this deal or not? You ready for this?
Yep.
They still have, and you're a Phillies fan, so this is part of you.
I'm not a Phillies fan. I'm an Eagles fan and a Pirates fan.
Illegal.
Illegal?
You can't do that. You can't mix cities like that.
Yes, you can. I grew up in Eastern PA, and now I live in Western PA.
You actually grew up closest to the baseball team you should really root for, probably
is the Orioles.
Baltimore.
But I can't even say that because I'm a Pirates fan, and they're playing the Orioles this week.
You're right about that. But growing up in York, most people in York are Orioles fans.
It's a hodgepodge.
It is a hodgepodge, patchwork, all of that. All right, back to this. You're a Phillies fan. So, remember we talked about Phillies Karen yesterday at length. I mean, how many calls we got on it and all that. There is a deal out to Phillies Karen right now, who still has not been identified. They still haven't found exactly who Phillies Karen is. So, Blowout Cards. I don't collect cards. I don't know about this. Apparently, they're a big company. A major trading card retailer. They said it'll pay $5,000 to Phillies Karen, who took that Harrison Bader home run away from that 10-year-old boy after yelling at his father in the stands Friday night. But there's one catch. Ready for this?
Okay.
Here is the catch. The catch is this. They want the ball signed and inscribed by her and only her, whoever she is, and it has to say, "I'm sorry."
Oh, my
So then that way they can give it back to the kid.
Yeah.
And their offer is official, and the offer is firm. So, if you're Phillies Karen, because eventually your name's going to get out, right?
I guess, yeah.
Would you cash in on $5,000 on this? Would you contact them and say, "I'll do it, and I want more money"? Would you not even entertain it? What would you do?
I think I would cash it in.
For $5K?
Yeah.
That's it?
Like you said, people are going to find your name anyway. Also, our society cancels people so often. People are going to forget about this in a week. So she's going to be forgotten about in a week.
Right. So you would take the ball. If you're Phillies, you wouldn't have acted like that anyway. I know you wouldn't have done that.
You don't think?
No, you wouldn't have been a jerk to that little kid. You don't have it in. Well, depends on how much you had to drink. Depends on what time you arrived at the ballpark. But
I would never do something like that.
No, I know you wouldn't. You wouldn't be like that in front of a kid. I know that. But $5,000 and she has to write "I'm sorry" on the ball and hand it to the kid.
See, that's funny. She just has to embrace it at that point.
I wonder, you know what stuns me? We know everything about everybody 10 minutes after they do something. The fact that it's Tuesday, this happened on Friday, and we don't know who she is, that's stunning to me.
She probably went into hiding.
Even such, it doesn't matter. They have videotape of her. We know everything about everybody all the time. They have those people who have huge YouTube and TikTok channels and whatever, and that's all they do. Like that Dinesh guy or whatever his name is, and those people that like say mean words out on road rage incidents, and they're like, "Find this guy," and he tracks them all down. Like the people have big social media followings that just do that. And the fact we haven't found this lady.
That's wild.
It's like the internet doesn't want to uncover who she is. Seriously. All right. So much more ahead. I do want to get into those Apple phones. I do have to talk to John Samick, the owner of Service Master, at the top of the 5 o'clock hour to find out about fires in buildings. And obviously this building in Squirrel Hill is not going to be salvaged. But what can be salvageable a lot of times when a big fire hits? So we'll get into all that. And speaking of Service Master, demand the yellow van. When disaster strikes, you demand that yellow van. Fires, they're devastating. Smoke, soot, smell, everything changes in just 1 second. When the flames are out, the real work, it begins. They don't just clean up. They help you put your life back together. Smoke damage, water from the hoses, structural repairs, they do it all at Service Master. 412-312-4282. 412-312-4282. They'll walk you through the process, handle the insurance piece too. Fire's overwhelming. We've seen that a bunch of times. So they know how to make it manageable. Go to their website, servicemasterofgreaterpgh.com. Demand that yellow van. Let's hit traffic. PJ Fitzpatrick, Home Improvement Traffic Center, KDKA AAA Traffic. It's all powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville. Margot.
All right, Colin, still getting reports for that accident on the Parkway West outbound right before the Fort Pitt Tunnel, and that is backing up the route to Technology Drive. The Parkway West inbound is slow moving from the middle of Green Tree Hill, heading into the Fort Pitt Tunnel and heading into the Squirrel Hill Tunnel. On the Parkway east outbound, it is brake lights from Technology Drive. 28 outbound is seeing bumper-to-bumper traffic from the Sarah Hines house all the way to the 40th Street Bridge. With AAA traffic, I'm Margot Renzel on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Colin Dunlap here to tell you, if you're injured, you make one call. Shenderovich and Fishman, they handle all types of injury cases. Their fee is 25%, not 40%. Like so many other firms. They're smart, they're aggressive, they're experienced, and they've got a 99.7% success rate. They win 25% on everything. Car accidents, motorcycle wrecks, tractor-trailer crashes, dog bites, all of it. 1-888-98-TWINS. That's 1-888-98-TWINS. Shenderovich and Fishman. They got your back, not your wallet.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 76 degrees at 4:30. I'm David Colorado. The news is brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. Home improvements with no interest financing if you need it. TrustPJ.com. A massive fire destroys an apartment building today in Squirrel Hill. News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush has details.
A large 4-alarm fire in Squirrel Hill is mostly under control after crews battled flames for 6 straight hours. Pittsburgh Bureau of Fire Chief Daryl Jones tells KDKA Radio, while the fire is largely under control, his crews will be on the scene for the foreseeable future, putting out several hotspots.
We're going to send lead crews here to monitor this in case it flares up again, which it probably will. And I put into PLI, that's our Department of Permits, Licensing, and Inspection, for an emergency demolition on this building.
The initial call came in at 8:25 a.m. Tuesday morning, with first crews arriving at 8:30. Crews found flames on the 3rd floor and immediately evacuated the building. Everyone escaped the building safely and no injuries were reported. Jones says an investigation is underway. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
Pittsburgh police and the FBI are investigating a series of letters sent to local synagogues. Police say those letters contain what they characterize as vague threats against the local Jewish community. The Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh issued a statement calling the letters deeply disturbing. The Bureau of Labor Statistics has issued revisions that show there were 900,000 fewer jobs for the year ending in March of 2025 than what had been originally reported. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt says it shows the BLS is broken.
Number one, the president was right, and this is why we need new leadership at the Fed. And this makes it very clear that President Trump inherited a much worse economy by the Biden administration than ever reported.
On Wall Street, the Dow gained 196 points today, the Nasdaq up 81, S&P 500 up 17. KDKA Sports brought to you by NASCO Roofing. The Pittsburgh Steelers have signed veteran safety Jabril Peppers as Deshaun Elliott recovers from his knee injury, and the Pirates visit Baltimore. First pitch at 6:35. KDKA Radio News Time 4:32. Time to call One Health Benefits today if you're thinking about retiring but worried about high health insurance costs. 724-799-8873. Our next update's at 5. I'm David Ballarado on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Hey, it's Adrian Filipponi. A lot of Pittsburghers have a problem, and boy, do I have a solution. If your garage floor looks awful, bad concrete, cracked, you've got peeling epoxy, paint that's yucky, call Comer & Cross Concrete Floors now during their end-of-year garage sale at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Right now, you're going to get the best price of the year, guaranteed, starting with $750 off. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard. It never cracks or chips like an epoxy or paint job. They'll make it so easy. They're in and out in one day. They're going to fix your garage floor cracks and pits perfectly the first time around. And here's a big one. No subcontractors. These are people that are qualified. They know what they're doing. They're even going to take the stuff out of the garage for you. So now is the time to call Comer & Cross for your best price of the year, guaranteed. They're going to start with $750 off during their end-of-year garage sale. So here's the number to remember, 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or go to COMERcross.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Your home equity could vanish almost overnight, stolen by scammers who forge a deed and transfer it out of your name. The FBI calls it house stealing, and the worst part is you may not know it until it's too late. Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO for a 30-day free trial, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO.
Hey folks, NASCO Roofing, the region's roofing leader, continues to exceed customer expectations. Carol from Pittsburgh praised NASCO Roofing for their quality workmanship and the timely manner NASCO completed her new roof. She loved how friendly and easy NASCO Roofing was to work with. NASCO has satisfied thousands like Carol. Get NASCO on your roof next. Call NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. Most jobs done in a day. Special financing available. NASCO Roofing, NASCO.
You shouldn't go anywhere without Sniper. Larry Richard with Andy Amrine from EV True Value Hardware.
Sniper, your hospital-grade disinfectant, kills all those germs, bacteria, viruses, mold, everything, Larry. Sniper, your hospital-grade disinfectant. You need it for your home, your office, your car, everywhere. Let's get those germs killed now.
Simply spray and walk away. Available at participating True Value Hardware stores or online at disinfectwithsniper.com.
Here we are. PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center. KDKA AAA Traffic. It's powered by Bowser. Genesis of Monroeville. Margot.
All right, Colin. I'm getting a report for an accident on 28 outbound at exit 3 towards Millvale. There is a lane restriction, and it is backing up the route all the way from the Sarah Hines house heading up towards the 40th Street Bridge. Still getting a report for an accident on the Parkway West outbound right before the Fort Pitt Tunnel. That is backing up the route to Technology Drive when heading there. There's also a report for an accident on 279 northbound in Franklin Park, and that is right at the 279 split, so it is starting to back up 79 northbound as well. Also seeing some congestion on the Parkway East outbound from Technology Drive heading into the Squirrel Hill Tunnel because of an earlier accident there. With AAA Traffic, I'm Margot Renzel on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Mostly sunny for the rest of this afternoon. Very pleasant, a high of 75. It'll be mainly clear and cool again tonight, low 49 with some areas of fog late. Mostly sunny tomorrow and a high of 76. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Brian Thompson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Brought to you by the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank. Every dollar, every hour, every voice. That's the power of you.
This September, show your power. Support the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank during Hunger Action Month by donating, volunteering, or advocating. Every dollar, every hour, every voice. That's the power of you. Visit PittsburghFoodBank.org today.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Do you want to be more active and start exercising, but cannot because you know you're going to have pain or discomfort? I'm a martial artist, a pilot, mountain biker, hiker. The thing that brings me down is my feet. When my wife finally talked me into going into the Good Feet store, the salesperson there immediately started investing himself in my problem. This is not something that you could solve online. There's got to be somebody there that can help you find that fit. You put in the arch supports and the clouds go away and it's a good life. I wear them all the time. Good Feet has saved the day. You deserve a better life, too. Come into the Good Feet store today. Visit us in Robinson Town Center, in Cranberry Township, in Morgantown at Suncrest Town Center, or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Good Feet, because you deserve comfort in your life. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA.
Planning a vacation can be fun, but don't get taken by service fees and processing fees. SWAC Vacations lets you book direct. SWAC owns its own properties. The price you see is the price you pay. Michael Bartley here. My friend Jeff is the owner of SWAC, and you can trust you're going to get the best deal possible. That means more money for your family trip to Myrtle Beach, a luxury lodge in Deep Creek, or that massive Outer Banks house with room for everyone. Book direct, save at SWACvacations.com. That's SWACK vacations.com.
On September 11th, 2001, 40 brave heroes aboard Flight 93 made the ultimate sacrifice. Strangers united by courage, forever changing the course of history. This September, we invite you to walk where courage blooms. The Remember Me Rose Garden honors their legacy with 3,000 roses and perennials, a wildflower meadow, and 50 flowering trees. A living tribute to peace and reflection. Just a quarter-mile from the Flight 93 National Memorial. Admission is free. Visit remembermerosegarden.org.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us Wednesday on the Big K Morning Show, 5:30 until 10 in our 7 o'clock hour, our weekly visit with Rich Fitzgerald, a preview of another Artificial Intelligence Summit.
Nothing is crazier than mad parents at a school board meeting. And, you know, not that far away from here, we kind of, I don't say dismiss it, but we don't give it the amount of attention because it's not like a WPIAL school. So we don't pay attention to it as much. Slippery Rock High School. But it's not that far away from here. There's a big thing brewing with their principal. So there were accusations that this principal was intoxicated at work in 2024, okay? In April of 2024. So she said, yeah, I had 2 glasses of wine the night before. I struggled to sleep, and then I went to bed at around 1 o'clock. Then I took some prescription drugs. Then I woke back up at 7, then I went to work. And maybe I wasn't on my game. Then she shows up for work. Somebody who works at the school says, principal's acting weird. The superintendent shows up, and he said, all right, let me talk to this lady. Then he didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. Then he spoke about the allegations. She denied them, so much so that she swore at the superintendent. Now, he understood why she was upset, but he was going to send her home while he investigated some more. He said he wouldn't have sent her home and let her drive if he thought she was drunk, nor would he have let her return the next day. So then they started to do some more investigation on this principal at Slippery Rock High School. And she had a bell in her office, allegedly, where if the superintendent or this assistant superintendent were to come in, somebody was supposed to ring it to alert her. Okay? And then she lied about that. Then she treated her staff really poorly, according to different reports. Okay? Using profanity in the workplace. She napped in a conference room. She treated the staff terribly. She reprimanded teachers in humiliating fashion. Also, She was accused of intentionally withholding clothing, footwear, and other items donated to help less fortunate students and families. Why she would do that, I don't know. So they don't fire her for being drunk at work. They fire her for all this stuff. The superintendent made her paid administration leave unpaid and then submitted a recommendation to terminate her, which was approved in July of 2024. So she was sent a notice of hearing and a statement of charges. The district fired her. Well, now the state Board of Education says, no, you got to give her job back while all this is pending, while her appeal is follows. And the parents are mad in Slippery Rock because they say, how in the world are we supposed to work with this lady when essentially she's filed now a defamation suit against people and it's in the process of this? Switch her buildings or do something. Well, Channel 4 was there last night. Nothing makes fireworks like mad parents at a school board meeting.
It is ridiculous that an employee cannot be removed from their position if their actions pose a risk to children.
Parents stood before the Slippery Rock Area School Board Monday night to speak out against Moraine Elementary School Principal Dr. Christy Shulsky. A notice from the district went out to parents on September 2nd, informing them Dr. Shulsky was reinstated following an order from the Commonwealth Court.
We realize because of the complexity of the situation and the legal system that has clearly failed us, that the district is limited in what information that they can give us. There was no communication other than she's back.
How can staff be expected to work openly and without fear when their district supervisor is simultaneously suing them?
These measures would allow the district to comply with legal obligations, maintain trust and morale among staff. This amazing staff.
What a mess. So nobody wants the principal at Moraine Elementary School or whatever it is in Slippery Rock. She's vehement that she wants her job back. I'm certain that there's some sort of union involvement. So that's all part of the situation. And she is defiant. And then during this appeals process, whatever it is, they reinstate her. And everybody who she hates and who hates her are made to all work together. And it's not some place where there's somebody's working a drill press or something. It's a school. And the other part is she's in charge of the school. What a zoo. What a zoo. The first thing that needs to happen with public education, they need to get rid of the teachers union. 100% rid of the teachers union. That would eradicate a lot of the nonsense. Like, straight off the top. But this situation at Slippery Rock, Mark, here's the easiest bet moving forward. There will be at least one meeting moving forward of the Slippery Rock School Board or a special meeting or something like that where somebody yells and screams really loud and may have to be removed. And I'm here for it. This lady sounds like a lunatic, by the way, the principal. Anyhow, wanted to give you that brief synopsis. 866-391-1020 is that number. That's 866-391-1020. Traffic now. DJ Fitzpatrick, Home Improvement Traffic Center, KDKA AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Genesis of Monroeville. Hi, Margo.
All right, Colin, I am still getting a report for an accident on 28 outbound. At exit 3 towards Millvale, there is a lane restriction, and it is backing up the route to the Sarah Hines house up towards the 40th Street Bridge, and it is bumper to bumper on that route. An earlier accident is still backing up the Parkway West outbound from Technology Drive heading into the Fort Pitt Tunnel. Heading into the Fort Pitt Tunnel on the Parkway West inbound, it is brake lights from the middle of Green Tree Hill. Going into the Squirrel Hill Tunnel on the Parkway East outbound, it is bumper to bumper from Technology Drive as well. With AAA Traffic, I'm Margot Renzel on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I
was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loads and no monthly payments. Call 412-556-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com. 412-556-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
We're talking with Joe Sabulis from Highwood Cemetery. Joe, I read a story recently about a local cemetery that had run out of funds and was struggling to pay for its upkeep. How did this happen?
Some cemeteries eventually become full and can no longer sell grave sites to generate income. How will those cemeteries pay for their continued care? The cemetery may or may not have a fund for this purpose. In the story you mentioned,